And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Machcine.
Washable.
Yep. Soze.
The Chris Massey.
And the Red Baron.
All right, welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk, the last February edition. Short month.
Yeah. Went by quick.
Then it's into March, the birthday month of Souls and J-Mart. And then after that, we're into May, because we're skipping April this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Clean skip.
Fuck April.
I'm picking up some like weird noises in these headphones.
You know what? I hit my hat on the microphone a couple times.
It kind of sounds like we're in a kitchen, like not like a chef's kitchen. No, it's not. It's not that. It's I don't know. I'm not used to the
I hear what
headphones.
you're talking about.
I'm not used to the headphones. Anyway, all right. Starting lineup: Souls A.
So I got from Evil Twin Brewing, Soul Made.
They make a lot of beer called Souls, like different Souls things. There's also some brewery. It's in Simsbury, not the brewery, like the 12-pack I found. It's like $24, so I like can't justify buying it for you because you'll probably hate it. But it's called what's it? Oh, it's called Enlightening Your Souls. And then it's a bunch of different beers called different Souls things.
Says it end in ES.
Yeah, it does.
So you should buy that.
I don't have to.
Machcine.
I have another Alchemist beer from Vermont, the Focal Banger IPA.
Machcine Washable is a slave to the standard IPA train.
A guy from work went up there a couple weeks ago and he brought me back a 4-pack.
But I think your three favorite breweries are like Alchemist, Treehouse, and then like Nebco.
See, I wouldn't put Alchemist and Treehouse in there just because I haven't been there and I've only had a couple of things from each one.
Well, there's only a couple things worth having from Alchemist.
Yeah, that's true.
Chris Massey?
Trying to break into,
Not Coors Light.
yeah. I actually stopped by and visited Riddler at
Whiskey and Wine World
Whiskey
in
and Wine
Vernon.
tonight. Trying Starlet by City Steam.
Pretty average, like, craft beer selection. But they have a cooler up front, that like one of those Coke coolers. They break up a whole bunch of different 16-ounce 4-packs, and it's just create your own 4-pack, $16.99 flat. And they've got, like, all kind. They have Dogfish 120 in there. They've got Sip of Sunshine, Too Juicy, like whatever you want.
Sorry.
Red Baron?
I was trying to see Paul.
I have
I didn't know you were using it.
Double Fuzzy from...
So you got that from the Phil collection.
Yep, this was from last week. So,
Can you just start buying your own beer?
well, there's stuff available. And it's
fine.
I usually do. I plan to.
No.
I don't know.
No. I have... It's funny that I said that because I actually bought this. This is my own purchase. But I guess Souls, I forgot he had this, but from Beard Brewing, Stunner for the Win. It's like a Stone Cold Steve Austin looking guy, Stone Cold Stunning, an Undertaker looking guy.
That's the exact reason why Kyle bought it. Because he saw the can.
Yeah, I mean, well...
It's a cool can.
And Stunner for the Win, I would have bought it for that reason alone. Toast of Excellence, I'll go first. Mine is to Charles Tillman for graduating from the FBI Academy today. Also to the NHL for showing once again that NHL trade deadline is way more exciting than any other sport trade deadline, and that NHL teams are more like family than any other sport. Fuck all the other sports. Fuck them all. Matt Zuccarello got traded, and Henrik Lundqvist got all choked up because he didn't think he was going to go, and he's like, they were like best friends. Sad. That doesn't happen in the NBA. They're just like, whatever. More shots for me. That echoed. I don't like this.
Echo.
There we go.
I heard that too, though.
Yeah, fix your
There we go.
sound quality. Jesus, Red Baron.
How's that?
I don't know. I took the headphones off because that hurt. Chris Massey, do you have a toast of excellence?
I have one. It's kind of a weird one to Trent Richardson to
3
continue.
touchdowns.
Yeah, to continue to have one of the most puzzling stat lines that I've ever seen. Leads the league with six touchdowns, but only has 2.3 yards a carry.
So his NFL career.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean, he was just kind of like the power goal line guy, anyway.
Had no vision though.
Yeah.
Solzay?
He's coming back.
So, my toast of excellence is to one Robert Kraft.
Boo.
No.
Did you see the fake movie poster? Danny DeVito is Robert Kraft coming this summer.
That's funny as hell.
That guy
Also, the picture of Tom Brady dressed up as a woman was pretty
Hilarious.
deserves credit.
Hmm?
He deserves credit.
Good for him. He's going to get a slap on the wrist, pay a big fine. Whatever.
And have a lot more money to...
I just like anybody that's like talking about it and like nothing's gonna happen to the Patriots. Like everyone's just like, oh, take their like you can't hurt the team for something he did. It's not like he was like Spygate or anything like that. Like he broke a law outside of football. He's gonna get in trouble personally. Like everyone's like, oh, take their draft picks or suspend Tom Brady. You can't suspend Tom Brady because Robert Kraft fucked a hoe. It doesn't work that way.
Well, that's the thing.
Otherwise, every starting quarterback in the NFL wouldn't be playing.
The NFL like can fine him. They can't pull picks and stuff, but they
No,
can't
they
fine
can.
him.
The NFL can fine him, but they
Yeah,
can't
that's what I mean.
penalize the team.
Yeah. My toast is to Ja Rule for giving arguably the greatest halftime show we've ever seen. I don't know. Did you guys see this at all?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
It is the funniest thing I think so
Brought
far
a
of
2000
2019.
rapper out for 90s night.
I like when he comes. You guys ready?
Guess not.
Guess not, huh?
He's fat now.
Oh, it's so
I still
funny.
love that 50 Cent. Like, whenever he does a concert, 50 Cent buys out the first 3 rows so nobody can sit in them. 50 Cent keeps the beef real. Red Baron?
Not a very good one. I just saw this and I liked it a lot. You ever see it was on Bleacher Report. It was like a wedding and they did like I don't know, it was the best man and
Oh,
they
the
choke slammed him?
Choke slam him through the
Yeah.
table.
Not really sports related. I
Kyle
just thought
watched
it was
that in
funny.
the car on the way here.
All right, crack him. Not wasting any time today.
Nice.
Nice waterfall.
This is fucking fantastic.
You like it?
Oh, yeah. Let's get that real, like... Why didn't you... I don't understand why you didn't like this.
I don't know.
It just tastes like a standard IPA.
It could have been.
It's just super bitter.
It could have been
It's
because
a little too bitter.
it was the second beer I had. So I don't know.
I like it. I'm all about it. All right, Mass's monumentous moments. So
All right.
we're changing it up. Do you want to just, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, I can do it.
All right. So the Mass's monumentous moments. We're gonna change it up. You're gonna do the actual moments. I'm just gonna describe. You don't talk very
Go
well.
ahead.
It's like having a male Rebecca on the show sometimes.
Ooh.
Nah, just kidding. But so instead of doing just today in sports, because not every day is a great day in sports, Master's going to do this week.
All right.
So you're going to do like 5 to 8, whatever. It depends on how busy the week was. But it's going to be from today until Sunday. So this upcoming week in sports history. So anything notable. Mass's monumentous moments.
Mass's monumentous moments. All right. This day, today. Sorry. This day in sports history, Muhammad Ali TKO's Sonny Liston for his first world heavyweight championship title. So, the great got his first. Now, February 26th, in 1935, the New York Yankees released Babe Ruth. February 27th.
Nice crowd reaction on that.
1989, February 27th. Dallas Cowboys fire head coach Tom Landry after 29 years with the team.
Wow.
Guy had a great hat selection.
March 1st, 1963, Mickey Mantle of the New York Yankees signs a baseball contract worth $100,000 total, which...
Keep in mind, we're about to see somebody sign $350 million
Yeah, that's a
with the
little
Dodgers.
Yeah,
Not be
that's
that much.
He's going to the Dodgers. Your dad thinks so.
That's wrong.
well, I mean,
Your dad
he's
knows-
not wrong.
Your dad knows more
Not
baseball than
necessarily.
you. Your dad knows more baseball than you. Not more than Mock, though. What else you got?
March 2nd, 1972, Hank Aaron becomes the first baseball player to sign for $200,000 a year, which, that's less than 10 years, but that's still a pretty significant jump.
Still a lot more than I'm making.
Yeah. All right. On this day, March 2nd, 1969, New York Yankees legend Mickey Mantle announces his retirement. Finishes 18-season career with 536 home runs and a .298 batting average.
Average. I'm saying Cespedes is going to do the same thing this year. In 3 games played.
All right.
He might.
This one was
If he could walk.
of particular interest to the Riddler, and this one is probably the most significant out of all of these. 1962, March 3rd. Wilt Chamberlain scores an incredible record 100 points in an NBA game.
How many assists?
None.
You know when he scored 100 points, there was still like 8 minutes left in the game, and he said that he wasn't going to score anymore because he just didn't think he needed to.
Well,
Like, he could have dropped the $150. Also, on top of that, I'd like it to be known that Mass asked me, that's got to be near the top, right? For most points scored.
I don't know basketball. I don't know what you want
I
from
was like, it's pretty close.
it's up there.
It's right
Jeremy
up
Lin that one time.
there. Well, because, I don't know. I mean, Souls would probably be the only one that would know this out of the other 3 of you, but I was telling him, I think there's a list of, I think it's only like 6 players all time, I think. Because someone did it recently, this year, I think, that have ever clipped the 70 point mark. I think it's only like 6. I think didn't somebody score 70 this year? I thought he
The
did.
last one to do was Devin Booker.
That was Devin Booker.
I think it's only like 6 though, like 5 or I don't think there's that many. I know Jordan didn't do it.
Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant,
Yep.
David Thompson,
Yeah, there's always weird guys on this list. It's like the Nick
Elgin
Foles
Baylor, David Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
and-
and Devin Booker.
And Devin Booker. Those
I
are
forgot
the
David
6.
Robinson did it. He also had a quadruple double. That would have been great to have in FanDuel.
All right, Mass's
there it is,
monument and most. All right, yeah.
There it is.
Alliteration for the win. All right. Congratulations, Mass. I
Thanks.
like that.
Appreciate
We
that.
need more like chatter though. As much as you reading.
I was trying to get everything shared and set up from our pages.
Share it later.
Don't share it later. You should share it now.
No, you can share it later. You can talk. Otherwise, they won't listen. All right.
Anyways,
Yeah. A random NFL player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kendall's favorite thing of the day.
I just like it.
It's guaranteed football talk.
Well,
We're
It's
not
my
talking,
favorite
if we're not talking football, Kendall's bored.
that's not true. I used to do a trivia question that was ex-nade.
Do you want to do the trivia question again?
Nah, we got a system going now. Don't fix if it ain't broke.
All right. I was looking at my saved things because I always save them. The person I want to do, and there's a picture of there's a video of Stone Cold Steve Austin dancing to Rick Astley.
Now, there are headphones everywhere, and Rebecca's sitting here with her iPad really quiet, held up to her ear.
Yeah, I don't
Rebecca, I
All right,
have.
this one hits home for the Red Baron.
Do you want these?
Wide receiver Roscoe Parrish,
Hey.
5'10" wide receiver from Miami, Florida, who played for the Buffalo Bills from 2005 to 2011, and then a bunch of practice squads, but never, or like off-season stuff, but never made the cut again after. In his career, he had 1,502 receiving yards. He had 1,990 total return yards for 24 total touchdowns in 90 games. How many receptions?
The new player's name again one more time.
Roscoe Parrish.
Thank you.
You should
Played
look
for
it up
six-
real quick.
Played for 6 years.
Very injury prone.
6 years, 1,500 yards, 24 total touchdowns, return man and wide receiver. How many total receptions?
This is tough for me because it's like I feel like he didn't have a lot of receptions, but he was always on the field until he was hurt and missed all that time.
Other real great analysis.
Yeah. Well, like you said, he was always a return guy, and then he was I don't know, he was number 3 receiver maybe.
82.
Okay.
95.
I'm gonna go with 121.
186.
All right. As per rule implemented a couple weeks ago, to full around the horn, everybody was way off. 301.
God damn it!
Wow.
I was gonna go in the 300s.
Slot receiver.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's like
Everybody
like the
aims
Edelman
so
thing.
low.
He was like the Edelman thing. Just beat the guy off the line, caught the ball for 4 yards, and then was tackled by a linebacker.
See, it was really the yards that were getting me. Because I know he was hurt, but like 6 years, only 1,500 yards. But,
That's what I'm saying. He didn't. He caught a,
Yeah.
oh well.
Still one of my favorites though.
That's not true.
Wish he played longer. Healthier.
Poison!
I'm not looking forward to this.
All right, Red Baron. You.
That's not great.
I don't have to do this because I did the trivia.
Well, I was.
I don't know. I heard it around the horn.
Done. Smelt it.
We'll just say it'll come back this way. But I had an idea, and it was something that I was like, hey, we're going to do something with NBA players and do kind of like a Yankee swap thing. I think, and I had a tough time coming up with a good concept, so I think we're going to put it on ice for now. I talked with the Riddler over the week, and I thought it's kind of like a supplement thing for the time being. What we could do, it's fun to do like a start, sit, cut thing. Now, it's usually see that, I think, probably more so for NFL than anything. So I compiled here a few teams rather, and I tried to go out of the realm of like, oh, of course you're always going to start LeBron. So I tried to keep away from that a little bit, but I've compiled a couple lists here, and I don't know. I guess I'm going to just compose it to the room here, and then you guys will go down, and then we'll see if it differentiates. So let me just pull it up real quick. I'll have to turn off Facebook so I'll be able to comment. Mark, that'll be
I got the Facebook.
your
on.
responsibility.
Your responsibility, Wilbur.
Dun, dun, dun. Wilbur, what's that? Like a Charlotte's Web line?
I made it up.
I don't know. I always get this private stuff.
What are we doing?
We're doing Kendall's thing.
He's listing his names.
Is what?
That's
He's
not
gonna
great.
give us the start, sit, cut thing.
Oh, he's just drinking.
Well, he was doing his around the horn.
You guys talk about yourselves. I was going to drink. All right. So I do have, if you guys want, I have the players' like stats. I kind of tried to pick some team leaders. So if you guys want that, I could pull it up for you. But if not, we'll just go for it. So the first team I have is the Hawks. The names I have are John Collins, Jalen Adams, Trae Young. Start, sit, cut. Souls, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start John Collins. I'll sit Jalen Adams, and I'll bench Trae Young.
Now, do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, John Collins is the best player on the team. Jalen Adams doesn't play. And Trae Young is good, but he's still young. Like, he's not John Collins yet.
Now, Mark, would you like to hear any of these stats before making your decision?
So we're doing start, sit, cut?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting Collins.
Wait. We're doing all the same team?
Well, we can.
Are you giving him a new team?
No, I was going to go down the
So
line.
yeah, we're doing all the
Oh, okay.
same team, and then we'll move on.
Unless you want to, I
No,
could go.
no. We'll just do it this way.
So I'm starting Collins, sitting Trey, cutting the third guy. Forgot his name.
Jalen Adams.
Yep. Mass?
I'm Googling.
Who these people are?
Now, I have. If you want stats, I
Yes,
have.
give me the stats.
All right, real quick. I have about 1 million tabs open here on my iPhone. It was the thing I deemed the best thing to do.
I'm proud of you, Kendall.
Was it the best thing to do? I don't know. So John Collins is averaging 19 points a game. We have here Jalen Adams, who is a 100% free throw shooter, by the way. This is a pretty ridiculous stat. Trae Young is averaging 7.7 assists per game. He is also the team's leader in three-point percentage with 44.4% rather. And we get some more points per game for you. Well, Souls, I thought you were raising your hand.
Yeah, Rita's just having a really good time over there.
Sorry, it's loading. My bad. Really derailing.
Riveting
Hey,
radio.
Souls, what was your order again?
You're going to start John Collins. You're going to sit Trae Young, and you're going to cut Jalen Adams.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, Riddler, what do you got?
Yep.
He
Okay.
agreed.
That's
Next
that.
team.
All right. Wizards. Bradley Beal, John Wall, Thomas Bryant.
All right, well, I'm going to sit John Wall because he's injured, but I don't want to cut him.
Well,
We going off this year alone?
this year alone.
Are we going on? Are we assuming injuries? Because
No. Injuries aside.
all right, so Bradley Beal, John Wall, and who?
Thomas Bryant.
All right, so I'm gonna start John Wall. I'm gonna sit Bradley Beal, and I'm going to cut.
Yep.
C.
I'm starting Bradley Beal.
I
and
knew
I'm
he was going to. I knew he was going to do that. He hates John Wall.
because he's not that good.
He's better than Bradley Beal.
They're way better without him.
But he's better than Bradley Beal.
No, he's not.
I think he is.
Bradley Beal scored more.
Ooh.
He shoots better. He defends better.
I don't know about that.
He does.
I don't think he's that much
John
better
Wall
than
just
Bradley
gets steals. That's it.
Beal. That's important.
Also gets beat a lot.
It's important. Steals are important.
Also tears his Achilles while sitting at home.
But if you got no steals in 2K, your games would be a lot more frustrating for you.
I would still win.
Would you?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Golden State Warriors series without steals, don't think that's true. Anyway, go ahead. You can start Beal. It's fine. I know you're a big Beal dick writer.
I just think he's better than John Wall. Anyways.
So it's tough for a team like that, I feel, because it's like you got those two, like in Wall and in Beal, and it's like to have a third guy. I picked Thomas Bryant because he was highest percentage shooting on the team this year.
Well, that's because he plays about 15 minutes a game, and all he can do is dunk.
Well, be that as it may, he's still the team leader. All right.
Anytime you see the team fielding percentage, it's usually the center. Remember that.
Sometimes.
All the time.
Sometimes. All right. Hornets. Cody Zeller, Jeremy Lamb, Bismack Biyombo.
Oh, it didn't go Kemba.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go Kemba.
No.
We're starting Bismack. Just for the name.
Bismarck E.
Go first.
Say the three names again, please.
Cody Zeller, Jeremy Lamb, and Bismack Biyombo.
I'm going to...
You want me to go first?
No.
All right.
I'm going to start Cody Zeller. Sit Jeremy Lamb. Sorry, Bismack. You're cut.
I'm starting Zeller, sitting Biyombo, and cutting Jeremy Lamb.
The whole time... Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if that's what Mock said.
Well, no, I had the cut and sit different. The whole time I was saying mine, I was waiting for Kyle to like stare daggers at me, and it didn't happen.
Well, it's funny because I remember
He stared at me instead.
the Mike Mock rule that if you don't know the player's name, then they're not good.
It works in the NBA. If I don't know your name, you must be terrible.
I'm starting Jeremy Lamb, cutting Bismack, sitting Cody Zeller.
I don't like Jeremy Lamb. I don't think he's good at all.
UConn, great.
Better than those three. Those two.
I don't know. I think they're all pretty much in the same
Bismack
boat.
is terrible.
But I think that Jeremy Lamb only looks somewhat decent because he's on that team. That's it.
Hey, I agree with you, but Bismack sucks and Cody Zeller is not much better.
I like Cody Zeller.
We saw that guy play, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw all of them play.
I wish I knew who Bismack was then.
Actually, no, we didn't. He wasn't there.
Thanks, Kyle. You liar.
I'll do private stock for it.
Reed, what do you got?
Send it this way.
I also picked Bismack because he was the team leader in blocks. With one per game he's averaging. No,
Just one total.
no, at one per game. But with a name like that,
Can you imagine how bad the team would be if the leader was with one all season?
Miss, you want to sneak that down to Souls there? All right, now this one is kind of like the 76ers. So I think we all kind of know how it's going to go. It's Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Jimmy Butler. Start, sit, cut. I was hoping that this one was going to perhaps generate some more.
Well, I think we're all pretty much in agreement here that we cut Embiid. We sit Ben Simmons, and you start Jimmy Butler.
Matt, go first. Is that your actual one?
No.
Matt,
I-
go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
Joel Embiid starts.
All right.
Simmons sits. Hold on. Simmons sits, and who's the third one? 'Cause
Jimmy Butler.
By Jimmy.
Start Embiid, sit Butler, cut Simmons.
You're starting Embiid, sitting Simmons, cutting Butler.
Yep, I agree.
Now, is this Souls because you're such a big Simmons fan?
That's a real tough one. Simmons has a much higher ceiling, but for right now, Jimmy Butler can defend better than Simmons. He's a better scorer. Simmons is a really very above average all-around player that's going to be a great all-around player one day. But for right now, and for me, with Embiid and Butler, you can fill in the rest of the team. And you know you're going to get the scoring from those two. Because like when Simmons has an off night, you're missing like what? Like if he's only dropping 5 points, what are you missing? You're missing like what 10 to 12 points. Would he average 17 a game?
Around there.
Like Butler's been a little different this year. Like Butler this year isn't a representation of what Jimmy Butler is, because Jimmy Butler wasn't happy in Minnesota. He kind of had a little bit of a rough transition. Like he came in really hot for like 3 games for Philadelphia, hit that game winner, then kind of like
2
game winners. Then he kind of like had like a weird transition. And I don't think that was on him. I just think the team was kind of like meshing to what they need to be. The team's figuring out what their identity needs to be when they go into the postseason, because they're going to make the postseason. It's just a matter of what number they are. So they're all kind of like figuring themselves out, even with the addition of Tobias Harris and Boban still. So like for me, like right now, like come playoff time, I think like Butler would be more beneficial than Simmons, in my opinion. But that's a tough one. I mean, all of them can start.
Well, fuck your opinion.
They could all start. Cut them all.
Trade all 3
For Anthony Davis.
No shot. That's a big loss trade.
So
I wouldn't trade all 3 of them for the rights to the Pelicans franchise. I'm pretty sure that Waste Management dumpster removal is worth more than the Pelicans.
Oh.
Alright.
That's actually very lucrative
real quick,
business.
Don Ozona tuned in, said great shows. Hi, Mikey.
No.
Cool
Calls you
smiley
Mikey?
face.
Yeah, my family does.
Really?
Yeah.
Good thing we're family. I've had it.
Now that's another one we've done probably a million times, but Warriors, Steph, Durant, Thompson.
Start Durant, sit Curry, cut Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really that, set in stone?
The problem is that Curry has proven Clay is by far superior in all defensive categories over Steph. I personally think that perimeter defensively, I think Clay's the best perimeter defender out of all 3 of them. I think Durant can do more down low, and he's got the length to, like, if you beat him, he can recover with the length. So, like, they kind of, like, are even in my eyes. But Durant is a proven top-notch scorer, proven top-notch defender. He gets the start. Curry kind of lacks defensively a little bit. He can create his own shot. He's got an amazingly quick release and outstanding range. Like, I think Clay is a better pure shooter than Curry. I think Curry's better off balance and has the range. But Curry's proven that he can consistently drop 30, whereas Clay hasn't. Like, Clay's either going to get you, like somewhere in, like, the 15 to 20 range.
And then he'll explode for 53 sometimes.
In 5 minutes.
With 4 dribbles.
After missing practice.
While eating a hot dog.
I was trying to think of something to keep that going. That Kyle made me laugh.
All right, so piggybacking off of that, Boogie,
Pistons.
Draymond, Iguodala.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah, so in that situation, you start Boogie, sit Draymond, and cut Iguodala.
No more love for Iguodala. Too old.
No, he's just not on the same playing field as those guys.
He gets minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets minutes.
Doesn't mean he's that. What is that?
Stanley
He gets
Johnson
minutes.
gets minutes.
Yeah,
And he deserves it.
No, he doesn't.
Well, Iguodala deserves more than Stanley Johnson does.
Of course he does.
Well, there. Well, thank you for eating my point.
fucking tattoo criminal for the Sixers gets minutes. What's his name?
Mike Scott.
Mike Scott. He gets minutes.
He was supposed to be in jail.
Yeah.
What do you do?
We're going by
You
Mock's
remember?
rules, though.
He
Doesn't
was,
know
he
the
was
name.
guy that got caught with a lot of weed.
Oh, I feel like I can't remember that.
A lot of weed.
How much weed are we talking?
He was supposed to go to jail for like 20 years.
Like trafficking weed? Lots of weed?
Yeah.
Like enough to get an intent to sell charge.
And then like they said whatever.
Adam Silver's his lawyer.
Scott Boris stepped
My
in.
client.
My client.
All right, so no love for Iguodala. That's fine. That's fine.
There's no love for Iguodala. I like Iguodala more than I like all 3 of than the other 2. But if I'm trying to build a
before they
franchise,
fall, yeah.
You know what? I'm starting Iguodala. Cutting green.
it'd be like if you told me Klay Thompson, Wizards Jordan, and Blazers Scottie Pippen. Like, sorry, but I got to start Klay in that situation.
Sean Kemp.
Sean
Kemp.
Sean Kemp Sonics.
All right. Well, I've Houston right now, but I had a typo, so I'm just going to correct it right this second. All right. PJ Tucker, Kenneth Fareed, or Clint Capella.
Starting Clint Capella. You're cutting PJ Tucker. I'm sitting Kenneth Fareed.
I'm starting Kenneth Fareed. Sitting Capella. Cutting Tucker. Kenneth Fareed's been killing it ever since he landed in Houston.
I tell you, as Kendall was reading those names, I was waiting for the name I knew. I'm starting Capella.
So it goes from I don't know any of them to whatever Kyle says.
I know Capella. No, what were the other two? I know one was PJ Tucker. Who was the third name?
Kenneth Fareed.
He's getting set. Tucker's gone.
Wow.
Take that.
What if I threw Chris Paul in the mix? You cutting him?
Chris Paul, out of here. Too
No.
old. Go to the Pelicans.
Matt,
Riveting Radio. Give me the names one more
we're
time.
waiting for you.
So,
PJ Tucker, Kenneth Fareed, Clint Capella.
while you ponder, Jeffrey Allen on Facebook. I think we're talking about the guy in the Sixers that he said should have went to jail. He said that he didn't like cocaine, just likes the smell. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Start Capella, Sif Reed, cut the third guy.
There it is. Bye-bye, PJ.
Because, like, PJ Tucker is, like, he's good defensively, but he gets you 3 points a game. Not most nights. I'm sure he averages, like, 7. But, like, there's a lot of games where he's just, like, nothing. It's kind of annoying.
Well, does he do enough defensively to make up for it?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
You say it's annoying as a FanDuel user? Is that why?
Correct.
There's always a reason.
When you need a cheaper guy, he's usually there. At that point, you're just looking for minute guys. And hopefully something happens.
What's an average price for him?
It's like
2,800?
48.
$75.
Yeah, the lowest you can go is 35. Fucking guy plays like 30 minutes a game.
Really? I thought I bought players there for like $2,900.
No, Kendall, if that was the case, I would have a lot more stars on the team.
Well,
I have a question. We're talking FanDuel here. Can you set up like private leagues in that?
Yeah.
We should do that. Like dollar buy-ins every week.
I'd do it.
Why not?
We don't have a choice.
I'll set it up tomorrow.
It's not very nice.
That gives me something to do.
And it works out for Souls and I because we've already got money in it.
now, Souls, are you like a broker? Like, if I just pay you cash, can I do it that way so I don't have to give a card?
We can talk about it.
All right.
No.
I'm feeling good
If
about
I'm
this.
charging you $2 every time.
Charging you $2.
The thing is, though, is like Kyle would still have to enter a card.
Yeah, just mine.
Yeah, but you have to create a whole new account. So you're gonna create an account
No, I'll
for
just
Ken.
use it under.
I'm willing to
No,
create
because
that
you have
inconvenience.
to create an account for him to put his team in. Because it would be huh?
We'll put 2 teams in.
I think we should make all of our accounts with Kyle's card.
Next team, please.
I got a lot of money tied up in gold, so it's hard for me to.
All right, Ron Swanson.
All right, the Jazz.
Ooh,
Rudy Gobert, Thabo Sefolosha, Ricky Rubio.
I know 2 of those names.
Okay, I'm starting Rudy Gobert. Cutting Thabo. Sitting Ricky. Just because Rudy is way better than all of them. Thabo barely plays. Ricky Rubio, it does enough.
To come off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same lineup.
Same.
Yeah. You kind of like picked like what would you rather get? Like, would you rather get a C-, a D+, or an A?
From history, I mean, at least for me and Kyle, we usually went with the D, so and end up in summer school together.
That only happened once. But we had a lot of time playing baseball afterwards.
All right, we'll move on to Portland. Myers
Start
Leonard,
Lillard.
Evan Turner, and a big fan of this guy's name, Jusuf Nurkic.
Okay, again, you did the same thing.
So wait, hold on. What do we do? Nurkic? Who?
Yeah, can you say the 3
Evan
again?
Turner and
Myers Leonard.
Myers Leonard.
Okay, so I'm gonna start Nurkic,
Okay.
and I'm gonna sit. I already forgot the second guy again.
Evan Turner.
Evan Turner. I'm trying to do like 60 things over here while we're doing this, and then cut Leonard.
Yeah. Because my Leonard also doesn't play.
He also just sucks.
Good story. Sucks.
Listen, he's a team leader. You want to know what he's a team leader in?
He plays 9 minutes a game.
What does he lead in?
Hold on.
Turnovers,
Three-point percentage, Kendall?
Let me get up my
free throw percentage.
He is the leader in 3-point 47%.
Because he
Damn.
takes like
Yeah.
12.
That's all he does.
Well, he leads in field goal percentage too, 54%.
Because he doesn't play.
Actually, he won't. He doesn't lead in field goal percentage. NBA.com or whatever stat thing you're looking on will have it listed as the top, but he won't make enough field goals to qualify for it.
Well, you know what? He's going to lose that because all these other players, even Ennis Cantor, is going to end up beating him. So sorry, Myers.
Dennis Cantor's good.
Did you see after he signed there, they like won the first game. He's like, "Huh, so this is what winning is." Real smug.
It's like, thanks, guy.
Aren't you wanted?
The Clippers.
This is interesting.
Daniel Gallinari, Lou Williams, or Montrezl Harrell.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna start Harrell, sit Williams, and cut Gallinari. And my reasoning is because Williams is best off the bench.
Damn it. I'm going with the same thing for the same reason.
Don't sound so mad about it.
I can't keep Gallinari over Lou Williams, but I can't start Lou Williams because he's not going to be as good.
Every time Lou Williams comes off the bench, he scores like 29 points a game.
Yeah, he's like Ben Gordon.
That's not true, but
See, I got to
it's a lot
keep
of points.
Gallinari. I know his name, so he's got to be good.
You don't know
Williams
who,
is out.
You don't know who Montrezl Harrell is?
Nope, don't know him. But
Right,
you
so
guys
there-
said he should start. So
There goes your if I don't know him, he's not good thing.
Gallinari sucks. Put it in.
why does he suck?
He's not that good.
Kyle, if I know his name, he's got to be good.
No, he was a
You
Nick.
know Omar Sheik.
But that's the only outlier.
He was a Nick.
Do you know Joakim Noah?
Yeah, but
Okay.
he was good.
But he's not.
But he was.
Actually, he's actually doing pretty good in Memphis right now.
You know who Sheem to be?
Nope.
Liar.
You're bullshit. Are you?
Do I?
The Yukon guy?
He
Hashim
was
to be?
7'3".
The name doesn't sound familiar. That's why I said that.
You might know him
Okay.
as the DJ
Do you know?
Hashim
Do you know
Vabeat.
any Yukon player besides Ray Allen, Rip Hamilton, and Kemba Walker?
Yeah, Jeremy Lamb, Shabazz.
There you go.
I know them.
No, he wasn't
They're
on that team.
terrible.
He was on the Rudy Gay team.
Rudy Gay also not that good in the NBA.
Roger,
Serviceable.
get that to your boyfriend, please.
I don't want your beers.
Okay.
The Riddler's trying to work.
Right.
Mass is just forcing beers out.
We all know that.
Get out of
We
my
all know
face.
that if this was Baron, I handed it to him, it'd be gone in half a second.
I
Next
got that
team.
pub beer for free from Jack.
Next team, bro.
I got the pub
Yep.
beer for free.
I got you. Thanks.
All right. The Bucks.
Cut Giannis.
Malcolm Brogdon, Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe.
Massey, take the reins on this one.
No, I would rather not.
Take it.
So wait, Brogdon, Bledsoe, and Middleton?
Yeah, take the reins.
All right, I'm going to start Brogdon, bench Bledsoe, and cut Middleton.
Okay. Give him the
Thanks.
points.
All right. So anyway, Mock, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go next. Here's a hint: don't say same.
See, I'm starting Bledsoe. And it's because I think it was last week, me and Reed watched a Bucks game, and Bledsoe
No, you
played.
didn't. You
we
watched
did-
5 minutes of a Bucks
We
game.
watched the first quarter, and Bledsoe had a very good game.
He had a very good quarter.
So I'm starting Bledsoe. I'm going to bench Middleton and cut the third guy.
Okay, Paul.
You're
give
gonna
me a
start Middleton. You're gonna bench Bledsoe, and you're gonna cut Brogdon.
hint. I do
Oh,
the way
come
around.
on. I was so
Would you?
close.
Yeah.
I'd keep Bledsoe.
I like Brogdon more just because he's more of a defender, and he's a killer three-point shooter.
3-and-D.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's shooting
I
like
just-
54%.
I think that Bledsoe is more effective at creating his own shot, and he's scrappy.
Can't go wrong with either one.
No, it's a good.
But
that's a
you
good-
have to start Chris Middleton because he was an all-star.
Yeah, you also can't cut Chris Middleton.
You know,
you don't have to start him. I mean, like I'll give you the BOD if you benched him, but you can't cut him. No, there's nothing you can say. Dimple chin.
you know,
You have a
I,
great
was
dimple.
I,
You have a
I
great
benched
dimple on
him,
your
and
chin.
Kyle gave me a dirty look.
I kind of wish Mass would get a piercing in his chin.
like the
Like a stud.
like the ones
Just
that
like a
girls
giant
like
ass-
get in their back.
Oh, just
Or
like,
like
a
right
giant
here, right in the
stud. Just
temple. Do you have another one, Red Baron?
I had one more that I was going to kind of do on the fly, and I was either going to defer it to Souls or you if you had any.
Okay.
New York Mets.
You seemed dissatisfied with what I just said
I'm
there.
dissatisfied with everything you do.
No, this is true.
I got one for you. All right. While you do your research on that one. All right. Boston Celtics.
cut Kyrie.
All right. Ready? Here we go. Horford, Smart, Tatum.
Starting Horford, sitting Tatum, cutting Smart.
I agree.
Fuck out Horford.
All right, so
Fucking hate that
but
guy.
he looks like an alien. I know, Kyle.
Well, someone knows.
All right, that's fair. I have
As long as someone knows. As long as it's not only me that knows.
You guys should have heard me during that Celtics-Sixer game.
yeah. Also, the guys that were sitting
Fuck
behind
Daniel
us,
Theis, too.
the guys that were sitting behind us said that they wished the towel boy would cuck them. And it was hilarious.
fuck?
Yeah, it was very funny. You don't know the history of the word cuck in this room.
Dude, it was the funniest
If
thing.
you ever decide to come on a sports trip with us, you'll be very
Yeah.
accustomed by the time we
Alright.
leave Connecticut. Except for Jeff, because Jeff will be asleep until we get to Pennsylvania. I have one other one.
What do you got, Riddler?
All right,
Hit us.
you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram.
Okay. Starting Kuzma. Sitting Lonzo, cutting Ingram. Lonzo's better defensively. Lonzo's going to get better as a ball distributor.
I agree with you. I'm starting Ingram, sitting Ball, cutting Kuzma.
I think Kuzma's better.
I think Kuzma has a higher ceiling, but I don't think he's ever going to get there. I think he's going to be one of those
You want
people.
to know the truth? They're the same goddamn player.
Right, but I think Kuzma's going to be more like a Rudy Gay. Like Rudy Gay came in with like all this potential, and he came out pretty good. And he's played throughout his NBA career. He's a very serviceable player. Could start for a lot of teams and whatnot, but he's just never taken that next step. And I think Kuzma's gonna bottom out before he gets a chance to reach his actual potential.
I agree. I start Ingram, sit Lonzo.
But
Cut
Brandon
Kuzma.
Ingram wears those fucking leggings, and I hate when NBA players wear those fucking things,
He's also
Would you
like,
rather-
especially when they wear white ones.
He's
Oh my
6'8".
God.
Would you rather than
Could
wear
you
the short
imagine
shorts?
the fucking motocross stains in those fucking white leggings? Because you know they don't wear drawers on them.
Oh, speaking of motocross, me and Paul watched a couple races one night.
Quads.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Got
How was
rewarded.
I think in the league they're called ATVs.
Ooh.
Bonus
Also,
point for anybody who knows what ATV stands for. Go.
All-terrain vehicle.
You said it first.
Action
Bronson.
Tonto Voss.
What? It's a Voss sweater for your kid.
It sounded like a play of the line, action Tonto Voss.
Kill, kill.
Yeah, that's a pick
All
sick
right,
way to happen. You ready, Kyle? Or the group? This will be the last one for me.
All right.
Jawan Evans, Rashawn Holmes, Josh Jackson.
Ooh.
Let's start Josh Jackson.
So you picked the worst players in the Suns.
I did.
Start Josh Jackson. Bench Rashawn Holmes. Cut the other guy.
Yeah.
And with that, Paul is correct.
Cut all three. Done.
First of all, Rashawn Holmes has nights where he's awesome. I know I'm a Sixer fan. He was a Sixer.
We gathered that. Thank
Well,
you.
a lot of people about give me a look.
No, I was trying to see what was happening on that tablet.
I got one. I got one.
I got one too. You want to go first or want me to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors, go!
All
Okay,
right.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 5. If
9.
you're within 1. All right, I'll go first. All right.
I thought you said you had it.
I do. De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, Buddy Hield.
Nice. Starting De'Aaron. I'm
Benching
sitting
Hield.
Marvin. and
Really?
cutting Buddy, yeah. Marvin Bagley's going to be insane.
Buddy Hield is my starter.
Because you know him.
He was a Pelican. Almost bought his shirt because it was the cheapest one on eBay.
Then you
How much?
realize they traded him.
All right,
was like
I got one more.
$11.
I got one more before you can go because this one's just more for fun. All right, you ready? All right. Costa Kufis, Yogi Ferrell, and Corey Brewer.
Oh, dude. Corey
Starting Yogi. Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
for the name.
Why?
Hey, boo boo.
For the name.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start Yogi Ferrell because he's better than the other two.
Thank you.
But you're going to stick Corey Brewer because you have respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kosta Kufis just looks dumb.
Corey Brewer is going to be an awesome Big Three player one
He
day.
was also a Sixer for a couple days.
Corey Brewer is going to kill it in the Big Three.
He played for the Sixers for 20 days. All right. So this one, I know who's going to get cut, but I have to pick a third one. I'm more interested in the other two: Drummond, Griffin, Reggie Jackson.
All right, so I'm cutting Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, knew it.
I'm going to start Griffin and bench
Reggie
Drummond.
Jackson?
Mr. October.
See, Drummond's been so good since he called out the All-Star panel.
Right, but my thing...
Wait, was he the guy that cried because he didn't get in?
No, that was Rudy Gobert.
My thing is that you know exactly what you're going to get from Drummond. The surprise with Drummond, much like with Ben Wallace, Dennis Rodman, those types of players, is he might get you 25 points in a game, but they're going to be garbage points. Like, they're going to still be points, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be off of offensive rebounds that have been put back, or like a player almost committing a turnover and he just managed to be right place, right time. Like, more than that, he's not going to surprise you. Griffin's always going to get you the points, and if he surprises you, it's that he's going to play adequate. He's going to be adequate defensively. If he surprises you, he's going to have an elite defensive game where he's going to get you 4 or 5 blocks, a couple steals, and in today's day and age, Blake Griffin can stretch the floor. I agree with you that Drummond. I think Drummond is taking baby steps towards reaching his potential. I don't think he's gonna. He's not gonna be one of those guys that just shoots out of the gate like a superstar. But eventually, he'll work his way back into it. Because the problem too with Andre Drummond is he plays in a league where centers like him aren't as popular. When you look at Hassan Whiteside, when the fuck does he ever play?
Every game except against the Sixers.
Yeah, pretty much. Anybody have one? Mock?
I do not.
Mass?
I do not.
Okay. Souls?
Wade,
Ooh.
Winslow, Richardson. They're all the same player.
I'm still starting Wade. He still shows me that he can do it enough. Keep Winslow. Cut Richardson.
Other way.
All right. It's fair. Markkanen, Levine, Porter.
Cutting Porter, starting Markkanen, sitting Levine.
Yeah. Same. All right.
Ooh, we're at the beach.
Redick, McConnell, Boban.
Kyle's starting Boban.
Kyle can't cut Boban. He can't do it. He has to, but he can't do it. You won't cut TJ, and you know you won't.
I know.
But it hurts you to say you're going to cut Boban.
I'm going to cut JJ.
No, you're not. You won't do it. Come on.
I'm gonna
Realistically?
Realistically, no, but my mind.
My
I'm
mind's
cutting
made up.
Boban. I'm starting JJ, but I'm benching McConnell. But McConnell's very close.
Moses Malone, Julius Irving, AI.
Okay. Starting Irving, sitting Moses, cutting AI.
Tell you, the Sixers fan base has no love for Iverson.
It's not true. The other two guys were just better.
And he's always drunk.
We were there. They didn't even applaud him.
He's at every game.
He was at the game we were at.
It loses the affection after the first 12 times.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. You had Michael Bennett there who didn't even watch the game, and he got a standing ovation.
Mock, Asik, Holiday, Davis.
Well, we're going to start a Seek.
That is spit everywhere.
No, Davis, Holiday, a Seek. Start sit cut.
All right. Mass, what team is he? Raptors.
Raptors.
All right.
Big Toronto fan over here.
Great.
Name your
Vince
top
Carter,
2 favorite players.
DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry. I just want to see what you have to say. Don't think about it too much because you don't know who any of
This
those guys
one's
are.
easy.
Is it?
Not really.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Can you,
Well, I mean, I know what I would do, but
can you give me the names one more time? Sorry.
Kyle Lowry, a point guard, DeMar DeRozan, a shooting guard / small forward, and Vince Carter, a shooting guard / small forward.
Keep Carter.
Bench Carter or start?
Start Carter. Cut DeRozan, and I don't remember what the third one was.
And you're going to bench Kyle Lowry?
Yeah.
That was wrong.
Okay.
That was the wrong answer. I think it was the wrong answer. Do you think it was the wrong answer?
What are we talking about, like, today?
No, like as Raptors.
Oh, today, yeah, you're wrong.
No, Raptors career. I still think he's wrong. You're going to cut DeRozan over Lowry?
Oh, I thought he cut Lowry.
No, he cut DeRozan. Bench Lowry. Started Carter.
Yeah, you're wrong.
As Raptors, I start DeRozan, bench Carter, cut Lowry. Because Carter was explosive, but he didn't really develop a shot till he was in New Jersey.
I'd still start Carter.
So I at least got
Kendall,
that part right.
Langston Galloway,
Ooh.
Eddie House.
Oh, man.
Ron Baker.
No, Langston Galloway, Eddie House, Ish Smith.
Ooh, all right. Starting house. benching Ish Smith, and I'm cutting
You know the
Langston
I
Galloway.
mean, that's the right thing to say in their primes. But you know what the funny thing is Eddie House was a Celtic
yeah,
and won a championship as a Celtic.
I
Paul.
know.
All right,
Derrick Rose.
nah, wrong. I thought you were gonna go Miami Heat, Jason Williams, Miami Heat, James Posey, and Miami Heat, Gary Payton.
No.
What do you got, Souls?
Keep it
Derrick
James
Rose.
Posey. Yeah,
Timmy D.
Timmy D.
Yeah. Duncan.
Oh, I thought you were talking. I was thinking Bulls. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
You don't
here?
remember Timmy D?
Yeah, Timmy. I got nothing.
From the 07 Bulls?
All right, so Tim Duncan, Derrick Rose, and his prime, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And we got
A quick talk in the microphone.
Tracy McGrady.
Which Tracy McGrady?
Orlando.
Orlando McGrady?
Was that the one that kicked the ball into the stands?
Start Duncan, bench Rose, cut McGrady.
Houston McGrady.
Same.
New York Nick McGrady.
Start McGrady.
You going like Shanghai McGrady?
Like, he didn't do shit.
All right.
Marbury.
I know what time we're at. Are we at a time yet?
We got a couple minutes.
All right.
Marbury.
You got 5 minutes.
Marbury, Fredette, Yao
No,
Ming.
I got you. Grizzlies, Pau Gasol. No. Change my mind. All right. Russell Westbrook, Timberwolves, KG, and Dirk. All in the prime.
Starting KG, sitting Dirk, cutting Pow. Not Pow.
Westbrook.
I actually got that right.
It's easy to say when you didn't say anything.
It's also the big ticket, baby.
Damn straight.
The only guy that literally.
What about a start sit cut for the big three in Boston when they won the championship? Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Fuck Paul Pierce.
Wow. I mean, I agree. Like, that guy was just like, he was like a loaf of white bread that you left in the toaster too long that could shoot a three. That's pretty much what Paul Pierce was.
Yeah, I'm starting KG, sitting Ray Allen.
All right, I like that.
I just fucking hate
I love
Paul.
KG's pregame ritual, having like a makeout session with the
Powder.
padding, and then he hugs the ball.
Paul Pierce is he on TNT or ESPN? He's on ESPN. Right?
No,
He's terrible,
I think
though.
He's on NBA.
NBA.
What are you talking about?
Paul Pierce is on.
He's on ESPN.
Is he on ESPN?
Yeah, because me and Kendall usually see him.
Kevin Garnett's on TNT, and it's fucking hilarious.
But Pierce does such an awful job.
The interview with Kevin Garnett and fucking what's his name there? Fuck.
The suits.
yeah,
I can't think of his name either.
Fuck. What's his name?
Just
The guy, the court sideline reporter for the NBA for TNT. Kyle, sideline reporter. Craig Sager.
Yeah.
That one.
I knew if I said Kyle's name, I'd think of it. That's usually how things go. The fuck did I eat for breakfast this morning? Kyle, Frosted Flakes. That's right. Yeah. So that's so funny. You're gonna take this whole suit and you're gonna burn it. Is that a thing I can keep? No, not a damn thing. You're gonna keep. You're gonna shoes, coat, drawers. You're gonna take it home and you're gonna burn it. That's so funny. Him and then Sager and Popovich, always great. Greg Popovich. Just him. He starts. He starts. Yeah. He starts, right?
He's a gorgeous man.
Yeah, he is. All right.
He's in part of the Polish
Bulls,
mob.
Phil Jackson.
Got him.
All right. So we're done with that then. All right. We'll do a different one, I guess. Okay. Eric Spoelstra, Steve Kerr, and Cleveland Cavaliers Larry Brown.
Cutting Larry Brown.
I thought you were going to say Larry Bird, and I was like, when was he a Cavalier?
No way you're going to cut Larry Brown.
I am.
It's not Steve Kerr's team.
Doesn't matter.
It does.
He still won all the rings for him.
Yeah, but Mark Jackson also would have won those rings.
Eventually. But also, I think Eric Spoelstra is one of the most underrated coaches in this game. He
I don't
is.
know.
Because, yeah, he had the big three, but he was
And
able to
then-
keep that team relevant while they were out. While they were
Not important. They were just relevant. Like 8 seed relevant.
Yeah, but, like,
In the East.
when they lost Bosch, they lost.
But 8 seed in the East. Being 8 seed in the East
Is that
like,
not good?
I think he's. No.
I'm 99% sure that Kyle and I could go coach a park and rec team and they could get 8 seed in the East.
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far.
But it's pretty close.
We might make a 10 seed. We'd be better than the Hornets.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Kemba.
And the Bulls. Shout out everyone.
Kyle wanted me to help him coach a basketball team. I was like, it's not going to go well.
All right, Chicago Bulls Dennis Rodman, Chicago Bulls Horace Grant, and Chicago Bulls Steve Kerr.
I'm doing Rodman starting,
Hey,
Kerr sitting, Grant cutting.
I wore goggles, dude.
That's why I didn't like him. He looked like a fish.
So did you hate James Worthy too?
He looked like a fish.
Wait, but you don't hate the goggles because you can't hate.
I don't
Captain
hate the
Kirk.
goggles. I hate the guy that wore the goggles.
Oh, all right, that's fair. All right. Well,
looked
we're
like
gonna
a-
go to break on that note, and
He's a fish head.
We'll see you guys when we come back.
all right.
Get out of here.
Call-
That was a terrible cutoff.
Calling the
Yeah,
shots.
dude,
Hey,
taking the thing out.
God.
Quick mock. Eric Flowers post retirement tiki barber. Jeremy Shockey as like favorite players kind of thing, not
Favorite
Fuck, man,
players.
kill.
like no.
I
So
know
but
it.
like I mean, so tiki barber after his comments.
You know, I'm still putting Tiki first on that list because I met him and he signed a football for me. Then Jeremy Shockey,
He's got a cool tattoo.
and he played well for the Giants. And then Eric Flowers goes, fuck that guy.
I can't wait for
Forever.
him- Can't wait for him to make a Pro Bowl next year.
It's going to be terrible.
It's gonna
Is
be
he on a
awesome.
team?
Yeah, he's
He's
on
on Jacksonville.
But I thought they cut him too.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's gonna
I
make
thought
the
they did.
spring training.
Spring training.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go to break. We'll be back in 5 minutes, and I believe Souls has a question to pose when we come back. Very big question. Is it a big question, Souls?
Yeah.
We'll see you in 5 minutes.
And now, back to Getting Sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by douchebags.
And Mock.
Maybe not mock.
Mock's the king of the douchebags. King of them.
What makes him king?
Because he's not here.
I
Fair
like,
enough.
you don't have to
He
like the
was
answer,
here,
but it's the
but
right
he
answer.
left, so, you know. He'll be back, though. He'll be back.
Maybe.
Yeah, so we're back. We hopefully, you know, if you're just joining us, you missed a riveting start cut sit segment from the plane master himself, Fred Barron,
Yeah.
and it was good. I liked it.
Oh, you could work out some kinks for sure.
Yeah,
you know.
whatever. It happens. Cracked a new beer from Beard Brewing in collaboration with Pipeworks Brewing called Dogs versus Shinobi. Just Ninja Dog versus Shinobi Warriors.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only help.
All right.
Okay.
Private stock that one, bro. Sure, so we're back. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about, but a big story right now, in the midst of all the fun NHL stuff that's happened in the past 24 hours and NBA spring training. It's underway. Anyone here excited?
Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle is.
Anybody watch their team play a spring training game yet?
Oh,
Yeah.
not yet.
Kyle.
Souls, yeah.
Three of them.
Anybody watch more than one?
No.
Three of them.
Anybody watched all of them so far?
No.
Nah, I missed yesterday.
Would you have watched it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I missed today, not yesterday.
All right. Spring training is a fun time, right, Kyle?
Fantastic time. Got the kids. Got to see what they're all about. You know, your top prospects, you know?
Ooh.
And that's why we're doing a little bit of spring cleaning ourselves.
Wow. How long were you preparing that line?
Long time.
Kyle just created that line right now.
I'll take
Kyle
this.
doesn't think anything through. No, that was a great line. Don't even take the private stock.
Yeah.
What you should do is you should dump some of it in Mock's beard and ruin that really expensive beer.
Let's get this underway, fellas, huh?
I'm gonna
What
have
are we
to
getting
dip your mic
underway?
A little bit, though.
I'm a.
What do you got in
first-
mind?
Get off my ass, bro.
Just by the arm.
I got it.
All right. That's
I
how we,
got
just don't do
it.
that. You can't do that.
What do you got for us,
No,
Souls?
well, I told you guys, we're doing a little bit of spring cleaning. You know, we're getting rid of some of the old stuff. We're bringing in some. We're gonna keep some of the new stuff. You
Kind of
know?
playing a little GM, sort of.
Kind
Kind
of.
of more manager.
More manager, GM type.
So, somewhere in between, like
Yeah, you know what I'm
GM's
saying?
son, who's
You know
got a
what
little
I'm
bit of pull.
You know what I'm saying?
This,
Yeah.
character, a little
Yeah.
check of the experience.
You know what I'm saying?
Working on novel there.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse. My God.
So we're excited to do this today. At least I am. I didn't care less if they are. But so today we're gonna
Typical
do.
Souls.
Today we're gonna do our own spring cleaning. You know, we're gonna rip apart some of the stuff. We're gonna get rid of it. Like I said, we're gonna box some stuff up. We're gonna get rid of some stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right. So you know, first thing
that's
that's
Yeah.
first thing I'm gonna talk about. You know, the San Francisco Giants. You know, they're They're hurting. They're hurting in the outfielder stage. You know, they're hurting for offense. They're hurting behind Bumgarner. They're hurting. You know, they're not what they used to be. And I would like to ask, you know, Kendall, what do you think that the Giants should do? Who do you think they should keep? Who do you think they should move on from?
We should never let Kyle take the reins. No, I'm just kidding.
Etc.
Well, Souls, you are right. The old gray mare ain't what she used to be. Team that won 3 championships in
6 years.
In 6 years, you know, a dynasty in itself. Team's kind of old.
Oldish.
Oldish.
They're trying to get younger.
So for a prospect who could break through in 2019 is 24-year-old right-hand pitcher Sean Anderson. Basically, he's played about 4 years in the various developmental, teams that are in the Giants system. This past season, he was 8-7 with 127 strikeouts. Gets a lot of grounders. His fastball is kind of around low to mid 90s. In his secondary pitches, he throws a curve, low 80s, very, very typical. Here's a guy, he's not particularly special, but he's consistent. So he's somebody who can go into that bullpen and be a great middle reliever and can kind of shore up, not that that's a bad bullpen, but like we said, it's old. So somebody who could, foreseeably will be up this year. He's got the experience. I think he'll fit in very well, and I think we'll be able to see him play this year. As far as kind of on the flip side of that, is a guy like Tony Watson. Been there a while. I want to say he's been there for 4 years prior. This I'd have to double check. Souls, you're grabbing the private side.
Rebecca, give that to your boyfriend, please.
Why do you dislike my?
He was there for a year, Ken. You forget that he was a pirate.
Yeah, but I thought he was there for more than 1 year. I know he was a pirate.
He was not there for more than. He wasn't there for 4.
Did he just call him Ken?
All right, so let me retract it. I think he's been up for about 8 years. We'll call it about 8 years.
Okay, well, I'll give you that.
So, but
I'll take that back.
he's 34, kind of on. I want to say that, not the tail end of his career, because he's a very serviceable guy, but he's got 1 year left in his contract. He's somebody that, hey, we could deal this guy. He's not a guarantee, as far as I'm concerned. He's been consistent at times, but he's never been great. He's always been a middle of the road guy. He doesn't really have a lot of wins or a lot of blow me away stats, but he's been consistent. But at the same time, if the Giants are looking to go a different way and they can get someone for him, I could see him gone.
I kind of disagree just because I think that Tony Watson is exactly what they need. He's a ground ball pitcher in a big ballpark. I know that doesn't matter, but I just feel like he's serviceable for that bullpen. At least a guy that could get them if he plays well enough. Maybe get traded later on in the year. Definitely not cut right away.
I wanted to jump back about Sean Anderson real quick. I wanted to mention this before. It's not guaranteed that he would be a bullpen guy. There's actually hopes that he could end up in the rotation. It's kind of like a 3-4 guy. And that could be hopeful. It's kind of like we said. We don't know how long Bumgarner will play for. We don't really know what that rotation is going to look like in 2 years' time, whatever. Now, if that's somebody that comes up and is ready to go, perhaps he finds him as the number 3 and kind of maybe an anchor in that rotation. So it's very hopeful that. I know you mentioned a little bit about the outfield, but I kind of just focused on the pitchers for the Giants.
All right. Now we got the Texas Rangers. They're a team that's in a tough spot. They have a lot of things going on that they need to figure out. Paulus?
Texas Rangers.
What? Texas Rangers. Okay. Well, first things first. They need to make a trade with the Rays for Jimmy Morris because that guy needs to be near his family. No. So Texas Rangers, just kind of like thinking through the roster. Somebody think about right off the top of the head that's gonna get a lot of fielding time or not fielding time, but a lot of field time in spring training is going to be starting pitcher Brock Burke. He's a 22-year-old prospect. He has yet to play in the majors, obviously due to his age. He's a promising talent, and he might get a mid-season call-up. But I foresee him being sent down for the start of the season. I don't think he's ready to be up yet. He's a promising young talent, like I said. You know, he's got a good range of pitches. You know, he's like I said, promising. He's got a lot of trying to find the punch. You know, he's got a lot of upside, strong ceiling, but he's not there yet. But like I said, if the Rangers, you know, they struggle, you know, they need, you know, injuries obviously always play a part, but if they struggle or they need something to change in the pitching world and they don't, you know, there's nobody worth trading for, I could see them calling him up, maybe get him a little bit of exposure. It's not uncommon to see a young guy get rocked in the majors a couple times, but it kind of sets the tone for them, kind of gives them something to work off of. But last year, I mean, he was like 9-6, and he was right above a 3 ERA, and he only gave up 3 home runs in 25 games. Looking at some stats right now.
Somebody who definitely late in the year, you know, could definitely be.
Why don't you shut your mouth? I already said, okay?
I'm just trying to help you out.
And then another person I could see being not a part of the final roster, catcher Jeff Mathis. He's 35 years old, so he's obviously on the upside of age. But it's just, you know, Isaiah Kenner-Falefa, how I say it. But he's their starter, and Jose Trevino is, I think, a better backup than Jeff Mathis. Mathis has more experience, but Trevino is similar in terms of defensive abilities, and I just think he has more offense to offer, and he's younger. So if he comes, you know, if he fills in the backup role, and every time he plays he's lights out, trade bait, whatever, you know. But I definitely see, at 35 years old, I don't see Mathis being sent down. I would see him being more out the door.
Jeff Mathis always seems to find his way on like a shit-ass squad.
Makes his way around, you know.
He'll be a White Sox.
Another thing about the Rangers, which is interesting, they recently signed Hunter Pence to a minor league contract, which I can personally see him making the team just because, you know, it's Hunter Pence. And
I'm telling you, trade for Jim Morris.
he can play right field for them. He could DH for them. What's going to hurt? He can be able, if he plays well, you trade him. You know, he's
right.
One of those candidates. You know, then we'll bring him, you know, back to the National League a little bit. We'll go with the St. Louis Cardinals. They're a team that's on the rise. They just acquired Paul Goldschmidt. You know, there's not many holes on the team to fill, but there's still some. And I believe Mock.
Yes, I had the Cardinals. Now I listed 2 players here. One that I think can kind of break in this year and be effective for that team. The Cardinals are one of those teams that are always in the mix somehow. Like they're always, you know, in that playoff hunt. They have a left-handed pitcher in their farm system right now, Genesis Cabrera. He came over from the Rays. I think it was in the Tommy Pham trade, but had a real strong winter season and will probably make the team some point during this year coming out of the bullpen. He was doing a lot of work as a starter, but he moved to the bullpen. He was throwing harder, had better command, like just a better reliever than a starter. If the season doesn't go how they think, I think we'll see the Cardinals try and move Matt Carpenter again. They kind of tried last year and nothing happened, but this could be the year where they try and move him and, you know, build more farm system assets to get, you know, over the hump within the next couple of years.
Think like a contender late in the year.
Yeah, I think if they're in the mix, Carpenter's not going to move. But like if they kind of fall off, we may see him try and move them to build for next season. You know. Okay, what do you think?
I don't see them moving Carpenter at all. Just because, you know, basically been the face for a couple of years now. He's just one of those players. He's a hard-nosed player. Plays a lot of hard plays, dirty. Does all the little things right. I don't think he's one of those guys that can be moved. He's probably going to finish out his career as a Cardinal. He's pretty old now. He's like 32, 33, maybe even older. But like he's still like I don't see them ever moving on from him.
It almost happened last year.
But now they upgraded first base. Now they have actual pop in that lineup to protect everybody else. So I don't see the Cardinals being bad. What I'm saying.
No, I agree. They're never bad. They're never
They're
bad.
always somehow in the mix. Always.
They're always in the mix.
And we'll stay in the National League. We'll go to the Nationals. A team that has a lot of firepower and offense, but they're losing their superstar outfielder, and they're losing a lot of offense.
Oh, Harper's a superstar now, Kyle?
Star. He's a star. Matt?
Speaking of losing Harper, I really think that's one of their biggest spots to fill, and I think
Mouse, let's get you in front of that mic.
is that better for you?
Perfect.
All right. One of the pieces they're going to use is Victor Robles. I think that's how you say his last name.
Correct.
He's done well in his limited season. When he was playing AAA ball in Syracuse, he had a 278 average. He only had 14 on bases, but he was hampered by I think it was an elbow injury. But with Harper being gone, you're going to see him start stepping up to the plate. Limited.
He was going to step up anyway.
Doo-dum.
Gotta step up to the plate.
He ended up playing major leagues for a couple games last year. He was, I think he had 3 steals over 21 games, hit 3 homers. Showed a little bit of promise, but they're going to need young kids to step up in the absence of Harper, and I really think that he's going to be the one to step up and fill the shoes.
Robles is definitely the guy that's going to come up. He should have been up a few years. They chose to go with Soto. Right call. It would have been Robles if he wasn't hurt. So that's what that is.
That's all I have to say about that.
And then we'll take
Moving on.
we'll take our town to the American League again. We've got the Twins. No doubt in my mind, I believe that Nick Gordon, D. Gordon's little brother, is on the roster this year. He's going to start a shortstop. He's going to be a bat leadoff. He's just as fast as his brother. Hits a little less for average, but he's young. He's 20 years old. He'll find his groove, like maybe during the halfway mark. They have a hole for shortstop, even with the Marvin Gonzalez signing. Marvin Gonzalez can play everywhere, so that just helps him everywhere, I guess.
God, I'm not laughing at you. Rebecca has Raw, and I turn over, and Kurt Angle's walking to the ring, and he's like 400 years old. It was just funny. I'm sorry.
And then, in my opinion, that Martin Perez is probably going to get cut. He's been struggling for the last few years. 5 ERA after 5 ERA. Don't know how he sticks it in the majors. He had a point where he had like a 3 ERA. People thought he was promising. I don't see it anymore. Gets smacked around.
That's the thing. Like when you have that prospect kind of pedigree, you get a little more leeway at times. You see guys kind of hang around maybe longer than they should, just because of what we thought they were going to be. Kyle Farnsworth. Hate that guy.
We'll stick to the AL. We'll go with Toronto. Toronto's in a different spot that it's been in years past.
Right. And I remember, Souls, you and I discussed about me picking this up, and I just remembered that I was supposed to pick this up for Jeff. So try to bear with me.
Okay. I'll just take care of it.
So here we go.
No, I'll just take care of it.
That's right. Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Okay, that's the only person that deserves to be talked about.
Well, I mean, come on. Have some faith in Bo Bichette.
Did you guys see the comment or whatever? Someone
I guess
posted a video of him walking out of the clubhouse to the practice field, and the Blue Jays just commented, "Vlad Guerrero Jr. thick as fuck."
Do Do you think when he comes up, he plays the field?
Yeah, third base.
Isn't he like a subpar fielder though?
Doesn't matter
But why wouldn't he DH?
because you don't put a kid at DH.
Why?
Because the DH position, like I said to you before, is not for everybody. He's played his whole career at third base. He's been playing it. He hits better in it. If you put him in the DH, it's just going to fuck with him. If he strikes out, he's going to think about it. That's why I think Giancarlo is the worst worst DH for you guys. My opinion.
Debatable.
Because when he played in Miami, he was a solely right fielder, and he was phenomenal. You tried moving him around, that's when he struggled. When Judge went down, he was a right fielder again, and he started picking up again.
Well, I guess what I mean is, like, especially once you get to the MLB side of it, I mean, I don't know his exact strengths at third, but I mean, if he's kind of like a liability there.
He's not a liability. He's the father. He's the arm of his father.
What?
He's the arm of his father.
Yes, Cap.
The glove is going to get
but
better.
there's another half to fielding.
It's
and
going to
base.
get better. And first of all, I'm okay with my third baseman making like 12 errors if he's hitting 94 home runs.
I guess what it's for sure he will be up this year. Perhaps not for opening day, but
he'll be up
in April for sure.
He'll be up second week. No, they have him for another year.
It's the type of thing we had this whole last year of kind of watching these highlights saying why is he up, why isn't he up now? But
it's all the contract bullshit.
Right, and I think there's nothing wrong that keeping him that one more year.
We saw the Cubs did that with Chris Bryant. They kept him down. It was like that extra 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever, because then they get an extra year of team control.
Right.
It kind of screws the players over, but of course, the business decision is genius. Why wouldn't you do it? It's just the players hate it.
As far as a guy that could be cut from the Blue Jays, which is definitely kind of seen some good days and a lot of bad. Kyle's gonna. Actually, I don't know if Kyle's gonna be mad at this. Freddie Galvis, get rid of Freddie Galvis. Send him anywhere.
He won't be cut.
I'm not saying you will cut him.
They don't have a shortstop.
Anybody else?
Let me tell you this. Yeah, he sucks with the bat. One of the best fielding shortstops in the game.
So he's Jose Iglesias.
Yeah.
I would say if I were to rank him out of 10, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and in fielding, perhaps 6. I don't think he's that fantastic. He's a middle of the road guy. So just because he played for your team doesn't mean
No,
you get a
he's a 94% fucking
fielding percentage.
yeah. Like, are you gonna go out and say that he's subpar?
I didn't say he's subpar.
You said he's a 6 out of 10. That's subpar.
Yeah, that's subpar. 6 out of 10, middle of the road.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
So I mean,
No, let's move on. We gotta move on.
All right. We'll go to the Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, same division. We'll stick it in the same division. I'll take care of this one. So they have a lot of pitchers, a lot of starting pitchers. Tyler Glasnow, who they picked up from the Pirates, either he goes to the bullpen, or he's in AAA. With the starting 5 that Tampa Bay has, there's no way he makes the rotation. If those 2 kids, Blake Cunningwell and Jose De Leon, come back, no way that he makes the team. Same with Jalen Beeks. Unless he's in the bullpen, he's not making the team. The Tampa Bay Rays have 1 second baseman on their roster, and that's where Christian Arroyo comes in, who's been the top prospect for years now. He's probably going to make it this year. He's been AAA for 2 years now. He's ready to make the jump.
Any relation to Bronson?
No.
How do you know? Like, do you know for real?
No, I got to feel it. But they had a big hole. He's been there. He's been in AAA for a while. He's ready to make the next jump. Then we got the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Ooh,
Dun
was
dun.
me.
go Berg.
We got J Mart's team, baby.
Yep. Think he's listening?
No.
So, the Pirates are another team that usually make the wild card, and that's it. Usually lose that game. But
To the Cubs.
This year, I think we'll see their young right-handed pitcher, Mitch Keller, come up. He moved up to AAA last year. Slow start, but then figured it out. Finished it pretty well. He's real young. I think he's only like 21, 22 years old, which really irritates me. But he does. He's got a ton of room to grow. I mean, he can come in and be like an instant asset for that team. And possibly, I mean, I don't think he'll be their ace, but he, add depth to a starting rotation. They also signed Melky Cabrera to a 1-year deal. Thought that guy was gone. But he kind of can fill a need for them as like that fourth outfielder, assuming he has a decent spring and hangs around. But I don't think he's on the team for the whole season. They got a couple guys injured. Once they come back, I think he's gone. If he's playing well, they'll trade him. But
I went to a Mets-Braves game once, and in warm-ups, some guy in the stands was yelling, "You got fat, Melky. You got fat." I'll always remember that.
that's good stuff.
And for the Pirates?
No, that's what I mean, Mitch Keller, I think he will. He'll come up and be – he can have like that breakout season, I think, for the Pirates this year.
Fair. Now we got the other team in Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, Kyle, you want to take this one?
Matt's has got it.
Oh boy, get to earn Kyle's ire for this.
Yeah.
Phillies have a lot of depth, and with the anticipated signing of Bryce Harper, this has been made interesting because you don't know which direction you're going to want to go in. I did, in the off chance that they don't end up signing Bryce Harper, though, I did choose Adam Hazley as their chance to break out. Hazley's been doing very well in the minors. He in the minors he's hitting a 305. He's a pretty above average defender. Great fielding percentage. As I said, this depends on if they sign Harper. If they sign Harper, I really think that, like Sol said earlier, they're just going to trade Hazley. But really not sure as to which direction they're going to go with it. Very strong hitter. He's launched in the last 67 games he's played. He's launched 21 home runs. So he has a lot of power. He can field very well. But again,
Riddler taking up his rapper.
depends on Harper. Souls.
Look, I'm gonna have the best fucking looking beer book in this goddamn state.
He will. He will.
Souls.
Really wish
I agree. Nobody that you would cut
That is nice.
or trade or
No, not really.
Hey,
Souls looks very happy.
all right,
Rita picked a great time to let her iPad die. Thanks a lot for that.
all right.
Yeah, missed my moment of bliss.
We'll take our town to Seattle.
Go to the bathroom, you'll find the same moment.
Okay. Seattle went gung ho the first couple years of Jerry DePoto's tenure as the GM, and now they traded everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do.
What the hell are they doing, Paul?
I thought that was my intro. Was the traded everyone? I was like, thanks. All right, so we'll start off with the basic. They're gonna cut Felix. Not gonna trade him. They're gonna cut him. They need the cap space, and they're just tired of Hispanics there. No, I'm just kidding. Can't cut Felix. That guy's a king. All right, so Seattle Mariners. Two guys that stood out to me.
Round the horn.
All right, two guys that stood out to me. 24-year-old first baseman Joey Curletta. I believe that he will get sent down after spring training, but I think he's going to have. Now, this is based off of my limited baseball knowledge, but I watched him. Actually, this guy. This is the only guy I'm going to mention in this entire thing when I cover my teams that I actually watched clips of, because I was intrigued by it.
Went and watched some tape. I like it.
Mm-hmm. But he's 24, so he's still young, especially for a first baseman. First baseman, somebody you think of a lot of pop, more known for their bat than their fielding.
Yeah.
So 24 is nothing for somebody to play first base, especially if you're an American League team, because you can very easily transition to DH. But because of that, they have Ryan Healy at first base, who has better pop right now and way better launch angle. And then they have a very serviceable backup at first base with Vogelback. So there's just not really any room for Coletta on the 40-man roster. especially when it goes to interleague play. They have Edwin Encarnacion to DH, so if depending on pitching matchups or whatever, he could very easily play first for them in an interleague matchup. I know that's not as common, because it's all based on away interleague matchups, but at the same, it just creates less playing time.
Yeah.
And then for the Mariners, I also have 33-year-old second baseman Christopher Negroin. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Negrin.
Negroin? Okay. I just said that because...
Got it.
Yep. But I have them cutting him. And that, and I know we talked about, maybe, MLB doesn't really do the whole cutting, but I have him out the door.
Yeah.
By the time the season starts. The reliability and durability of D. Gordon at in the infield. Plus, I think that Shed Long, their 23-year-old prospect, is going to get called up for the start of the season. I just think he's going to have a good breakout spring, and he's been promising in the minors.
Shed Long was a long-time Yankee prospect. Lasted about 25 minutes in their farm system.
And then he's got a good bat, but there's no need for a DH with Encarnacion.
Yeah.
And his saving grace is that he is a utility fielder. He's logged over 10 games, he logged over 5 games last year at every single fielding position other than catching.
That's awesome.
But he's 33, so he lacks the speed, and he's had some arm issues. So,
but those guys, I mean, the
think
plug and play guys.
I was saying, I wasn't when I was doing it, I was just thinking make the team or don't make the team. I wasn't thinking trade because I didn't want to I'm not gonna sit here and find a trade possibility for him. I definitely think that some team would want him for a 8th round pick because even your 1st round picks don't mean shit in the MLB anymore.
But, you think for what you said, the guy with his versatility a contending team would jump all over him.
A team that needs depth at any position will take him because then he can fill. But I just think for the Mariners, I just don't think he's needed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Moving on, Souls A.
We'll take it to the Central. The Kansas City Royals.
Boo.
Okay.
In my head, I was thinking Chiefs. I was like, what?
Cut Sal Perez, kill Sal Perez. Moving on.
The Royals in a very interesting point right now.
I gotta say, I like the Obama hand.
Now, let me be clear.
They have Alex Gordon in left, Billy Hamilton in center, and Brett Phillips in right. Jorge Soler, who once was a promising prospect, I believe is gone. Brett Phillips has every right to make the team. Billy Hamilton is a proven center fielder. Can't hit for shit, but he can field the shit out of it. And Alex Gordon, they're not going to do anything to him because he's Alex Gordon. He's a Kansas City Royal Hall of Famer, which is terrible to say.
You tell it to Eric Hosmer, sir.
It's just there's no spots for him. I don't think he hits well enough to be a DH. Also, to make the list, I have fellow Philadelphia Philly alumni.
What?
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Fellow Philadelphia Philly alumni.
That's Sosa's new segment.
Ben Lively. The Royals have a lot of open spots in that rotation. He can easily come and fill it. That's the Royals.
End of that.
Padres. Manny
team,
Machado's team.
Yes, a team.
They're
going
gonna
to
cut
their
him.
own heart. That's what I have written down here.
We joked about that in the car.
Why, did you ride
Buyer's
here with
remorse.
Them? Did you ride here with them?
Yeah.
How you getting home? They're spending the night here.
Oh well, long walk.
Nope, you're gonna have to sleep with Rachel.
All right.
That's not Peter's wife.
What kind of dog is that?
A beauty.
It's a beaut.
She looks like she's.
Speaking of beautiful dogs, just want this to be known, I am going to be solely responsible for any vomit found in Kyle's room later today.
Why is that?
Well, Henry got a haircut. This is off topic, but it needs to be talked about. Henry's Kyle's dog. He's a Yorkshire Terrier, and he's
also a dick.
Nah, he's a great dog. You're a piece of shit, is what it is. And Kyle and I took them to the gay haircut place, and he got his haircut, and he looks fucking adorable.
Did you say the gay haircut place?
Especially with his ears all perked up. So today he was staring at me while I was eating, and so I gave him an entire cheeseburger. I took one out the pan. I took Melvin, put him in Kyle's room so that Melvin couldn't get to the cheeseburger. Gave Melvin some tater tots. Gave Henry a whole cheeseburger.
That dog is gonna be something.
Did you say the gay haircut place though?
Yeah, it's a long story. It's an off-air story, not an on-air story.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Padres.
Padres historically awful in a lot of facets. But one exciting player and someone I expect to be up is Fernando Tatis Jr. A big
Son of Fernando Tatis.
It is.
Oh.
A big fan of his. I'm going to be a big fan of this guy. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get his jersey, no matter where he plays. Shirtsy, yeah. I'm not spending any money on a jersey. But Shirtsy, I'll go to Modell's.
Shout out Modell's.
But anticipated, he could play. He's a shortstop by, I guess, description. But there's potential that he could play third. If they wanted to go that type of route. Some of his stats, AA last year, 286, 16 home runs. But I think one thing that is not mentioned a lot in the scouting report that I read, but I know of reading other stuff, great fielder. He's super fast, and he has the power to go with it. So I expect him to be up this year. I don't know if it's opening day, but I think kind of the same thing is kind of like the Vlad Guerrero deal. If he's not up opening day, he'll be up, we'll call it 2 weeks. 4 weeks.
Yeah, he'll be up.
Another guy I thought was interesting was Logan Allen. He's 22. His combined minor league stats last year, all time. Let me correct that. He's a 2.75 ERA and with 378 strikeouts in the minors. He's pitched in the minors for I think it was 3 or 4 years now. Not blow you away, speed, fastball, anything like that, but he's great control. And, he has the ability to make, I want to be thorough here.
Well, I'm not talking about you. No. Shut up and
But
go.
he's going to be a middle reliever. It's the type of thing that he'll shore up that bullpen, which is kind of questionable.
The whole pitching staff is questionable.
Right.
I don't know who's pitching opening day for that team.
Joel Embiid said that Michael Jordan has never been and isn't and has never been the GOAT. And Dennis Rodman told him that he's doing a great job supporting his little island or country or wherever the fuck he's from, and to shut the fuck up and do his goddamn job. That's a beef I need to see in my life. Sorry, I just was scrolling through sports news. That's news.
One person I think could be moved, Aaron Loop, 31.
He's on the Padres.
Yeah, he's got a year left on his contract with a player option for some reason.
Well, he was a Philly last year.
Yeah, he's Padre now. That's why I picked him, because he's a guy who I think he's just there to be there. I think he could be moved in any ability, whether he's good or bad.
He's average.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's just a middle of the road guy. He's played 8 seasons. That's his his MLB hang his hat on.
Yeah.
And lastly, Boog Powell. That guy can't play anyway. So, Boog, I'm sorry. You're out.
All right, we'll stick it to the West. Dodgers.
Staying in the West. I like it. Spit all over my phone just now. All right. Biggest guy chance for me, I think that's going to come up. It's interesting because for the most part, the outfield is somewhat set. But someone who could be off the bench and someone who's ready to come up, 22-year-old Alex, help me out here, Verdugo?
Alex
Verdugo. It's Verdugo, Vertigo? Well, I guess so.
It's French.
Hit 329, 34 homers in the minors this past year. His hitting is improving every year. His power has gone up this past year. The type of thing, like I mentioned before, that outfield is kind of set. I guess. You don't. Well, what do you?
Who played right
11?
field?
I have to look at the roster.
playing center
I was
field?
looking at the depth chart earlier, and I don't remember.
They have
off the top of my
Jock
head.
Peterson, and the other 2 options are wide open.
Kyle, I don't know how involved you are in the Los Angeles sports scene, but there's camps out there that are pretty confident with that outfield. So I mean, that's the reason I chose him. Anyway, he's going to be up.
Okay.
It's going to be up. That's the real hallmark of this player.
So you're saying he's winning that right field job?
I'm saying he's going to be either right field. I don't know if he's a center field guy,
Right.
but he could be a corner guy. Another guy I found interesting, Dennis Santana. He's 22, 2.54 ERA and 49.5 innings pitched in AA. He was up briefly last year for a game. Inevitably got hurt. And was out the rest of the year. He had like a rotator cuff thing, but he was pretty much ready to go last year. I think this time around he'll be ready. He'll be healthy. Well, I guess health is entirely barring, but health aside, he'll be up, and and foreseeably he'll be out of the bullpen. One person I was a little surprised about the signing, but I guess it's someone who could be moved fairly easily. David Freese, 36. He's just going to be off the bench. Play third, I guess, when needed. But that's somebody who could be moved at any time. And another guy like that, Kevin Quackenbush. It's like that guy.
name.
That guy could go anywhere.
Quackenbush.
Yeah, I'm a favorite of him. That's one of my favorite
Staying in
guys.
the National League, we got Milwaukee.
Well, with the Brewers, as soon as my doc loads here, guy I think you got to look out for, and again, Kyle, you're gonna have to help me with the pronunciation here. Keston Hiura, second baseman.
I don't know how to say his name.
With the exception of the new second baseman Mike Moustakas, who I guess is going to play second, the Brewers don't really have like a true second baseman on the roster, and Keston can step in and fill that void. To do that, he's going to have like a real strong spring training. But again, like the Brewers have a need there. Moustakas is not a second baseman. He's going to be a huge second baseman.
I don't know how good he's going to be at turning two.
It's just, I think he's doing it. It's a team friendly move for Moustakas to move, but I don't see it lasting. But Hiura can come in, fill the void. I mean, the Brewers were in the championship series. Like they were knocking on the door of the World Series. It's not like they're a team that's far away. They're in that win now mode, and this kid can come up and, not to say he'll be the reason they get over the hump, but he'll definitely help
Contributing
them.
factor.
Yeah. I didn't have a player to cut. I don't know. I'm sorry. I wanted to say Ryan Braun, and Kyle told me I couldn't, but that was more because I don't like him.
Travis Shelby, they got to move. But actually, they played Travis Shaw at second base last year. Also a big guy.
Yeah, Moustakas at second is going to be hilarious.
Maybe they just kind of like that move,
But he's just so big.
Stocky guy out there.
Staying in the NL, we'll go with Reed's favorite team, the Mets.
I thought for sure you were going to say the Reds.
Great
All right.
jerseys. That's it.
So
Wish Jeff was here.
the prospect that I really think is going to make an impact this year for the Mets is Peter Alonso. You can make an argument that he should have been called up last year, but
Can't field for shit.
no, he can't field for shit. But you got a lot of players that are there just based on their raw power, and he has a lot of power behind his
That
head.
guy belongs in the Royals.
That's kind of the Mets' MO. Can you hit the ball out?
Yeah,
Play for us.
that's exactly why it was there. I mean, he has a 314 batting average. He has all right. He has 36 home runs in 132 games that he's played. Kid has raw power. It's only going to get better as he moves his way up. Can he field? Nah, he can't field for shit. But I mean, Mets really need to just get somebody in there that can start helping them score points, and Alonso is their answer.
Score points.
I got it. I heard that also.
Give him that bottle.
It's like the ugliest
Runs.
thing you can say that's still kind of correct, but just gross.
He's good around the perimeter.
Don't hand that to me. You fucked up.
This guy's going to be a great red zone batter. I can't wait to see him.
Good on the. Fuck, man.
We used
And
all the good jokes.
And because I don't have a player for them to
Oh,
cut
he's
him.
good on the power play. Just give me the bottle. All right. Next. You got anybody else?
No, I didn't have anybody else for them.
He
Riddler's
left.
just gone.
He left. He was the next guy. Audible. All right, we'll go to the Tigers. That's me.
I'm here.
He's
Oh.
back.
Oh, we got the A's then.
All right, cool. Oakland Athletics, Kyle's second favorite team. Great color scheme.
That's right.
Chris Davis cut.
Say it.
No. Oakland Athletics. So two things I thought to comment on. Mark Canha.
Canner.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
They're gonna keep him even though he's because when I started looking at this, because baseball knowledge is not my forte, I look for age.
Riddler,
both
can you put
young.
your mic on the inside?
I look for age, both young and high. Yeah. Last year he batted .249, 17 home runs, 52 RBIs. He's a utility outfielder, plays all over the outfield regularly. I think they're going to keep him. They kind of need him. They need that depth. I also think they're going to keep Robbie Grossman. I know they just acquired him, but I think even with a shaky spring, they're going to, right fielder, another outfielder type of thing.
You can suck and be a lefty, and you'll make the team.
Right. Plus, they have a surplus of outfield, which is why I was kind of looking at him. But he did bat .273, and he had 6 errors, so it was kind of shaky. But like I said, I think that he's a keeper. I think they're going to send down Ramon Lorian, a 24-year-old right fielder. Again, they have a surplus of outfielders. They don't necessarily need him. They can keep him down in the minors to fine-tune his skills. Definitely, I think a September call-up guy. Could potentially see earlier call-up, barring injuries, trades, whatever. In the minors, he batted .288, which is pretty impressive. 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. I also think they're going to send down Grant Holmes, a 22-year-old relief pitcher. He needs more experience. He needs to get a better control on his fastball. And I think as of right now, he kind of lacks the it factor. But in the minor leagues last year, just kind of a test it. He only pitched 2 games. I couldn't find if he was injured or not. He went 0. He was 0-0 with 2 no decisions and a 4.5 ERA. So not really a good sample size to work off of. But based off of kind of some scouting reports I've looked up on him, because I don't really know a lot about this guy. The things I said, he needs a little bit more control on his fastball, and he kind of lacks that it factor as of right now. And that's the Athletics.
Oh.
All right. Now we got the Tigers.
Oh, that was close. Proximity-wise.
So, the Tigers have only one catcher on the team right now. His name is
Omar Navarez.
Grayson Griner.
That was close.
Bernie Griner?
He's going to make the team by default. The Tigers are one of those teams. I have no idea who half of those guys are. It's a rough time in Detroit. No idea. I'm looking at the roster. I know maybe 2 guys.
Some roller derby going on upstairs.
I think they could cut either Matt Moore or Jordan Zimmerman. 1, to get off Zimmerman's contract, and 2, Matt Moore sucks. I just feel like those 2 guys are prime candidates. All the other guys are young, and the Tigers are just going to be bad for a few years.
Yeah, the Tigers are going to be a bottom dwelling team for a little while.
Might be in 3rd place. The division's trash.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. 3rd place in that division, you're last in every other division. It's just they're not going to be good. It is what it is. Baseball is one of those sports where the rebuilds take a long time. So they're bad.
That sums that
That's
up.
really. It is. It's just. It's got to be rough playing on a team that going into the season's listen, we're not going to have a good year. And there's 162 games, and guess what? We're going to win 60 of them. It's
Let's go have some fun.
yeah, really But hey, your guys are going to make your millions. It's not going to be a good season.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough.
And next, we got the New York Yankees.
Ooh, who's got this team?
Paul Steen does.
Oh, yeah, I forgot, because it's out of my division.
Yep.
Yankees,
The AL East were J-Mart's squad.
Thanks, Jeff.
they're going to trade Judge for cash.
All right,
$100.
Nice. Oh, I can afford them.
You can.
Cash.
Could you just buy Aaron Judge and just keep him in your house?
Wash your
No,
car.
for the New York Yankees, pretty simple. I have 2 things. They send down Kyle Higashioka, 28-year-old catcher. Roman and Sanchez, pretty good. Don't really need them.
I'd love Higashioka,
Call up
though.
for injury purposes, but September call up maybe.
Yeah.
But you have Sanchez and Romine is above and beyond a good backup catcher. And I think they cut Greg Bird or trade him. Whatever.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Whatever. But lack of production, didn't even bat 200.
Guys are
Voigt
slouch.
has a better bat, and when Voigt can't play first, Tulowitzki and Andujar can. So they don't need him.
Yeah, Bird to me is like, just trade him to whoever for whatever. Just get rid of him.
Get something for him.
Failed experiment.
Just cut him.
He had
he
a good
didn't-
first year.
But that's what I mean. Like, and he came up with so much hype. To me, he was just like a worse Mark Teixeira. Decent, and he's always hurt. It's just he's
And
got
when
to
he comes back, it takes him like 3 weeks to get back into swing of things.
He's playing for the wrong New York team. That's the problem. He's got to go to the Queens.
Flushing Queens.
He'd be the perfect Met, Kendall.
Yeah, maybe. He doesn't get injured enough, though.
I'm
He's
pretty sure he
always
does.
injured. He's
Yeah.
always injured.
Not enough. I'm talking minimum 90 games missed.
Yeah, that's actually probably Greg Bird.
Anybody else,
We
Paul?
want Jason Bay.
That's all I got.
All right.
The Yankees.
All right, so we'll keep it in the AL East. Mock's favorite team, the Boston Red Sox.
Yuck.
Trade
So-
Mookie Betts.
No,
to the
no, no.
Yankees for Greg Bird
Well, that would be awesome. But
What a foul.
and Judge.
no, the player I think now this is a guy. He's been in the league a little over a year, but I think this year we're gonna really see his breakout because of other things happening on the team. But that's third baseman Rafael Devers. He's come in. He's been a great glove for them. Batting's kind of been spotty, but he's a great young player. Is he even 21 yet? Do you know? I don't think he is. I think he's
If
20.
he is, he's very.
He's very young. But I mean, we already know Bogarts is already discussing testing free agency. Pedroia's kind of, on the farewell tour, unofficial. So, I mean, the Red Sox are going to need someone to step up for that infield and be the leader of the infield. Betts is going to be the leader of the team, but every infield needs to have that presence. And Devers can be that, being, the good glove. He's got a good bat. He's so young. They just need someone to step up. And I think this year we're going to see Devers take the steps towards going into that superstardom player. As far as someone the Red Sox, I mean, should try and move. I mean, they try and trade this guy every year. I can't figure out why, but Jackie Bradley. Every year they try and get rid of this guy, and then he finishes the season strong. He's got a can of an arm. He hits well. He's great in the field. For whatever reason, they don't want him. They try and move him every year. But I think Devers, this is the year we're going to really see him explode into the superstar that they kind of expected him to be.
All right, I'm going to round out the AL East. The Baltimore Orioles. Boy, do they have a lot of problems.
That they do.
So I'm trying to think of a cut guy or a trade guy or anything guy. There is no guy. They can't trade anybody. Nobody wants them. They can't cut anybody because they can't afford to cut anybody. So the two guys that came to mind to keep, and that was Andrew Jackson, who's a Rule 5 pick this year. So when I looked at the rosters, there was only one third baseman and one shortstop on the roster. For those who don't know how the Rule 5 works, the only way you can stay on the team is if you make the team. Like, you can only be on the big league team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can't. They can't take you and then put you in the farm.
So you have to be on the. I think he stays. I think he's good enough to stay. Well, I don't know if he's good enough, but he's gonna be. It's just Baltimore. They're in a lot of trouble. And then they have Austin Hayes, who's a right fielder. He was hurt a lot last year. Supposed to make a big splash, and now he's healthy, and he's gonna fight for that right field job. They have Trey Mancini. Adam Jones is still out there, but he might come back. He might not. We don't know.
Is he still like with the Orioles?
No, he's a free agent.
Is he?
Yeah.
You don't want to cut Chris Davis, huh?
Can't.
That guy's a scrub. Designate for assignment.
Eating too much money there.
Yeah, they really screwed the pooch on that one. You think he was juicing?
No. I think he had a really good year. And they made him stop taking Adderall.
So I all right.
So
What do you make of that? I don't know.
I don't know. That's really that was a funny sentence. I didn't expect Kyle to say that.
that's what happened. They made him stop taking Adderall. He got suspended and
Well, that's what I mean. So I mean, I say juicing, but like,
just like Carlos Luis, he was taking Adderall. He was batting 280. He stopped 212. Then I'll go to the Cleveland Indians. I'll jump back down. Personally, I think that Danny Salazar's time in Cleveland is up, even if it's via trade or via designated for assignment. They have a lot of guys on that roster that can pitch. Corey Kluber's still there. Carlos Carrasco just got extended. Shane Bieber just came up. Mike Clevenger. It's either going to be a bullpen guy or he's out. And I think he wants to be a starter. So I think Danny Salazar, he struggled last year with injury. He's gone, in my opinion. Leno Martin also could be dealt. He kind of sucks. He bats 210 every year. But there's not many options on the Indians. And to keep, I have him keeping... What the fuck did I say? Sorry. Oh, first baseman Bobby
Abreu.
Bradley. He's
Bobby Brown.
22 years old and had 20-plus home runs in each of the last 4 seasons in the minors.
That's his prerogative.
Nice.
You could take that.
No, Kyle, that was well placed.
So the first base position in Cleveland is open, unless they give it to Hanley Ramirez, who just signed. Fun fact. They got Carlos Santana back, who's probably going to DH or play first.
Who say? Why wouldn't he play first?
I don't know. I suck the Philadelphia fielding. But he's one of those guys that can come in DH. He's a home run guy. He can make a big splash with just the bat. And then we'll move to the West. Back to the AL West.
Oh, I was all excited for a second.
Anaheim.
So the Angels, they're going to go ahead and they're going to keep Tony Danza.
All right.
I think it's a fair move, Kyle.
Yeah.
Tony Danza.
And Chris Lloyd.
All right. So I think that they're going to send down 21-year-old starting pitcher prospect Luis Madero. I just think that, granted, spring training's not done yet, but I think he lacks control and the poise for the big leagues. And the position depth at starting pitching doesn't demand early call. I'm not saying great position depth, but they've got enough pieces to get him through now. Luis Garcia, 32-year-old relief pitcher. I think he gets cut. I predicted a bad spring from him. In 2018, he had a +6 ERA with a career worst in runs scored against and hits allowed. And there's enough youth to start the season and youth to call up that they don't really need him. Again, going off of a prediction of a bad spring. I mean, if he has an okay spring, he could be a mentor kind of guy. But I also have him cutting Caleb Cowart, 26-year-old third baseman. Lack of production. They have depth with Cozart and then David Fletcher, young kid that I think is going to be that kind of fill-in guy and maybe even take over, depending. Plus, they also signed Tommy La Stella, who's a utility signing.
Really underrated.
Yeah. That signing adds a humongous amount of depth across the entire infield. Last year, and like just a fun fact for it, just to kind of show his depth. Last year with the Cubs, he played over 100 games, and he started at least a dozen or more games at every infield position except for catcher.
Wow.
So he can just fill in anywhere, barring injury, poor performance, matchups, whatever. And so just with Caleb Cowart's lack of production, I could see him being out the door. I mean, he could get sent down. He's only 26, but
he's more defensively prominent than he is offensively.
Right, and the reason I don't think he gets sent down versus going out the door is because with Cozart, they already have young David Fletcher, who's younger than Cowart and is showing more offensive promise and consistent defensive promise. I think that right now Cowart's better defensively, but there's still room for improvement.
And also, the Angels just got him back yesterday.
Who?
Cowart. Or the day before. They just re-signed him. They just reacquired him the other day.
Yeah, but still. That's my, whatever. Moving on.
All right. Massey.
What do you got?
Worst team in baseball, my friend.
Chicago White Sox?
This was a very hard one to do because the Marlins are so bad.
Trade for Stanton.
Pretty much. So they got the one of the best international prospects last year and one of my favorite players, Victor Mesa. Mr. Victor twice.
So you like him?
I like him because of his name, and that's pretty much it. He has Victor twice in his name.
Not to say you have no idea who that guy is.
No.
Victor Mesa.
That's pretty much all I like him.
His father is Jose, fun fact.
Yes.
Really? Wow.
But he did very good when he was playing in Cuba. Hit a 3.54 average, 55 home runs, 44 RBIs, and had 40 stolen bases. He was pretty good. The only problem is he got hurt already in spring training, and I really doubt whether the Marlins are going to try and rush him up to the majors when they're not going to do a fucking thing this year.
Yeah, hold on, they got Starlin.
When they're not going to do a fucking thing this year.
They got Starlin.
Castro.
Right.
So I really don't know how quickly they're going to rush him along when they're not going to do a fucking thing this year.
They got Starlin.
Matt, you seem to have a stance here.
But another person that they may possibly bring up is Isan Diaz. They got him in the Illich trade last year. He struggles at times. Big part of his game is getting comfortable in the stadium that he's playing at. Once he actually starts, getting comfortable in the stadium, he starts getting a little bit better. But moving from AA to AAA, he was still hitting only an average of 232 average and only hit 13 home runs. Really stocky frame, really short, lacks lower flexibility to actually, hit the ball. He has strong power when, he gets up to the plate and he can actually flash that power once he starts getting comfortable. But it takes time for him to actually do it. The Marlins have nothing this year.
You're getting souls all aroused by this analysis.
They got Starlin.
They got nothing this year. So it's really hard to say who they're going to call up and they're not, what they're going to try and, if they're going to try and actually bring their prospects up to.
There's one reason why you're wrong.
Why is that?
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, right? They signed Curtis Granderson to a minor league deal. I'm like 98% sure that he's going to make the team and play a lot.
All right. You raise a fair point. I was trying not to go with the obvious one,
But anyway.
Marlins have nothing this year. Nobody can predict what they're going to do because they don't want to waste the talent right away.
I can predict. They're going to win 4 games.
There you go. Perfect. So,
Can you imagine
done.
that 4 games.
What is the worst in the MLB
It was
history?
the Tigers in like 2002.
What
did they
real
win?
Bad.
They won like 54. All right. We're almost done here, guys. Mock, take it away with the best unis in the league.
Ooh, we're talking the Reds?
That's right. Jeff Martin. Ladies and gentlemen.
We should learn like the Reds fight song. We could sing it on the show.
Go Cincinnati.
If that's the first line, Kyle, I'll buy you dinner.
Go Cincinnati. With the Reds, I mean, there's really only one prospect I think that should have been up last year. Me and Kyle were talking about him before, but Nick Senzel.
Kid's a baller.
Yeah, he's good. But I mean, what's weird is now he's gone through the farm as primarily a third baseman and a second baseman. Spring training, they got him in center field.
You know why? Because third base is already taken by an all-star from last year. Shortstop and second base, they kind of want to keep Perez and some asshole that's in short. I forgot his name. But center field's open because Billy Hamilton left. So if he can manage to play center field, They got a pretty good guy.
Is it Rich Kozark?
Not Rich Kozar. You can shut up.
Well, I don't know who else is out, but I know they brought in Puig and Matt Kemp. I mean, does that round out their outfield?
No, left field's still open. It's Justin Winkler, but he sucks.
But yeah, this Senzo kid. I mean, he's really athletic. Hasn't played outfield at all, but he's fast enough and, like I said, athletic enough to kind of pick it up. Probably won't be an opening day starting guy.
I think he'll definitely be there by June.
That's what I mean. Like, I see him going up there by the summer, expect because he's going to fall into the same thing where they get another year of team control, but I think by the summer we'll see him playing for the Reds. Again, another team that's not really, not that they're not going anywhere,
they're a weird
but
team. They could either be really good this year or fucking terrible.
that's what I mean. Like, they might surprise us. They probably won't, but that's what I got for the Reds.
All right, Kendall, take us away with the purple and black here.
The purple and black.
Sacramento.
It's when I was on a Colorado Rockies site, and like their blog name was called like the Purple Peaks or something like that. Like, you guys are lame.
Yeah.
Come on. All right. Got a couple prospects that perhaps one guy I really anticipate being up by the end of this year, and that's Brendan Rodgers. He's second base, kind of like a all-around infielder, I will say. He's 22. He batted .268 with 114 hits in both AA and AAA last year. I believe he's baseball's number 10 overall prospect. I don't know if Souls can confirm that.
Fucking killed it with the yard goes.
It's tough because that infield is somewhat, like, I'm not going to say decided, but like, it's kind of like it's written.
Drink this.
Can you listen to me, please?
No, I'm not, because you're wrong.
So, facing tough competition with Ryan McMahon, Garrett Hampson, and Paul Valleca, who have already played in the majors so far. That's why he faces somewhat tough competition.
Doesn't. They all suck.
All right, Souls, I forgot how much time you spent out in Denver. So those guys have all sat and worked with Trevor Story, as well as Brendan. He has as well. So I expect him to be up. I don't know at what point in the beginning or the end, but that's someone who for sure in 2019 I think will be taking at bats. Someone who one person I just gotta get out of the way. One person I think can be moved is Mark Reynolds. He signed a minor league deal like recently. I don't know what the purpose was. I don't know. The goal was he'd possibly play behind Daniel Murphy or give some competition. No, what do we got?
He's probably gonna be like a pinch hitter type. Because when he played there for Colorado before,
Well, right.
he was very good.
I mean, he could kill it, but I guess I was just surprised because.
You gotta think about it. They lost DJ LeMahieu.
Right.
They traded Jordan Patterson. Ryan McMahon is kind of still like, what if? He batted like 212 or very low when he was with Colorado last year. I think Mark Reynolds is more of a safety blanket. I think he's going to make the team no matter what.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't start, I think he'll be there.
I know it's a minor league deal, so
And they still got Ian Desmond.
Right. So there's not a lot of money being thrown around there. Somebody also too that could be moved. Right-hand pitcher Chad Bettis. Kind of always had a high ERA. His career ERA is a 5.1 basically. 30 and 25 and 125 games. Always
cancer.
He's kind of always been a low rotation starter, as well as kind of being in the bullpen, in and out. So it's someone who's just always on the cusp of like mediocrity. So it's someone who can be moved.
It's more of like pitching in Colorado than it is.
Right. I think it's it's a home run park. It's not all on him. And the thing is, it's not that he gave up a lot of home runs. It's just
I get it.
He's just kind of a middle of the road guy and unimpressive at best.
Kiddo, finish it off with your desert.
The desert. The best place to play in Major League Baseball. A pitcher who I anticipate being up this year is John Duplantier. I think that's how you say his name. He ended up injuring his shoulder last year, but he was making great strides. He pitched 2 games last year, finished with 1.29 ERA with 9 strikeouts. Diamondbacks bullpen isn't awful, but more so average. Best guy last year was TJ McFarland, finishing with a 2 ERA. So that's somebody that I could see being up at some point this year. Another guy, another pitcher, another reliever, Taylor Widener. Last season, he improved his strikeout rate, jumped up 6%, as well as he lowered his walks. He has great upside. He throws in the mid 90s. The only issue that the scouting has with him, and it's kind of the oh my god, I can't think of the guy's name. He pitched for the Giants. Long hair there.
Lincecum?
Lincecum being short. That's like the only issue they have with him. He's 6 foot on the dot. So I mean, Lincecum has kind of been like the guy who beat that, that stigma of you can't be short and pitch. That's really the only issue that scouts have with him. 2 players I could see possibly being moved. Reliever Greg Holland. He's 33. He's played for 3 teams in 2 years. Serviceable guy, but really, his stock he holds no value there. He's somebody who could pitch anywhere. So another person I thought I considered being moved, and perhaps a contender, and Mark kind of made this argument earlier with Carpenter, is Zach Greinke. He's 35. He's the ace there, but I suppose if the Diamondbacks were tanking hard and there was a team that were going to make an offer that was reasonable, Zach Greinke could be moved.
All right. So, Mock, the Cubs?
The Cubs. Let's load up the old doc here.
Can you say PJ Higgins?
I think Reed is dead.
Shout out, PJ.
The Cubs, the prospect I think that should come up and kind of has a somewhat of an open door is Miguel Amaya, I believe is how it's pronounced. He's a catcher. Now, the Cubs do have Wilson Contreras, who last year was an all-star, but kind of finished the season not great. I think he batted under 250. So, yes, he was an all-star, but to me, with a kind of a pedestrian finish, they may take a look to see what they have in Amaya, even if it's in like a backup type role. But this is a guy, he's a great defensive catcher who has good power, so he can make an impact. And if he plays well, I mean, you could explore trading Contreras. But a player that I think the Cubs are going to look to move on from this year is going to be Addison Russell. And it's really more to do with off-the-field issues than on the field. To me, I think he's a very talented shortstop. But, the domestic abuse thing, it is what it is. I mean, we're seeing it all over sports. He's probably going to get some type of suspension, and if the Cubs decide to move on, I mean, Javi Baez is filled in at short, and he's an incredible ball player. And they even have a young minor league prospect in Nico Horner, who can make a spot on the roster. So I think the team's going to move on from Russell. I don't even think they'll try and trade him. I think it's just going to be a designate and let him go.
All right.
Nice.
Then we got the disdain of the East. The Braves.
Kyle, you love the Braves.
Fucking hate them.
All right, so the Braves have a lot of prospects that could see.
Call up Chipper Jones.
All right, we'll call up Chipper Jones. We'll just call it at that. End of the story. They have a lot of prospects that they could call up this year. Most of them are being pitchers. I went the unconventional route, and I chose Austin Riley, who is their top prospect. Know that they signed Donaldson to deal this year to play third base, but the guy only played in 52 games last year. He's just getting worse as the years go on. He's not bad, but there's not unreasonable doubt that he makes it through the entire season. And Riley has played very well playing in the minors. He's hit a 294 with 30 doubles, 19 home runs, and 70 RBIs at 108 games. Struggled with fielding in his first couple of years, but he's gotten a lot better. Showed in these last couple of games that he's played during spring training. You got Carmago that was filled as the incumbent third baseman before they signed Donaldson this year. But he's really more suited to be a shortstop. So when Donaldson eventually does get hurt this year, I really do think that they bring up Riley to bring some power to the rotation, and he has a very high fielding percentage. I think he has like a 9.63 fielding percentage. So he has a really hot glove to be able to man the corner. I think he'll do very well this year when he's called up.
The Braves have like 900 pitching prospects.
And that is why I didn't choose one of them.
All right, probably one of the hardest teams, the Houston Astros, because they're pretty much rounded out.
Yeah, I don't really have him cutting anybody. I just had him sending down Garrett Stubbs, 25-year-old catcher. Max Stassi is a solid backup with solid numbers. He needs more fielding experience. And then I also have him sending down Miles Straw, 24-year-old center fielder. He's productive offensively. He's been productive offensively and defensively in his short experience in the majors, but they have deep. They're very deep at the position. Definitely a call up for September for the postseason run that they're probably going to go on. That's pretty much all I have for the Astros. I don't think they're going to cut anybody. I mean, they're not, cap space wise, they're fine. They just, they got good pieces. Maybe cut George Springer just because, we'll just fuck up the world,
Throw a wrench in it all.
So the last team that we're going to do is the Chicago White Sox.
Dick.
They have 3 pieces that I want to talk about. 2 of them just signed recently, like the last few days. But first is Carson Fulmer. White Sox need more starting pitching. We all know Kopech is out for the year. Fulmer is a high-end rotation guy that's projected to be really good, but I think he's better suited for the bullpen.
So is Kopech.
He throws very hard, but very wild. And these other 2 guys, Irvin Santana, who can be a reliable 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter where you put him, could be very reliable. And they just signed outfielder Preston Tucker. And the White Sox outfield is pretty rough hitting-wise right now. They have a bunch of guys that play decent, but no power. And I think Preston Tucker,
Especially after the exit of Garcia.
I think Preston Tucker can easily come in and make the void better. He's a left-handed batter, so it helps that way. Even if it just is as an every other day, righty versus lefty, I think that's a very good pickup. I don't know why the Braves even got rid of him, to be honest. I think they fucking cut John Jay. They only signed him to sign Machado. He's a 250, 260 guy who plays somewhat good defense. They have a better center fielder who plays better defense. He might not hit better, but he makes better plays in center field. So that's all we got for spring cleaning this year.
So the Bulls play the Bucks, and Brook Lopez, all he did was get rebounds and dunk the ball, and Robin Lopez made threes. So they switched bodies for the day. Good job, Souls.
Thank you.
You're a Rembrandt.
I know it took a lot longer than we thought, but it's
Nah, it's all right. It took about as long as we thought.
That was
Yeah,
all right. It
well,
was fun.
We didn't go to break because we wanted to get through it. So I had a fun thing planned, but we're not doing it this week because NHL is important to me. If nobody else on the show, it's important to me.
quick
With
thing.
that being said, trade deadline was today. It ended at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and holy fuck was it fantastic. I was listening to NHL radio. I was working, as Mass and I were talking earlier, in Vernon. And,
Shit got crazy.
2:45, I made an excuse that I had to go to my car. I told them I was going to shit my pants. And it was true, because I had to listen to the NHL Network radio, because NBA, MLB, and the NFL trade deadlines, it's all this is stuff we could see happening, and it kind of trickles in throughout the day. NHL deadline, they make always the same thing. It's 5 people. These are guys that are going to get traded or are on the hot seat for trades. 1 or 2 of them will get traded 24 to 72 hours before the deadline. And then 2:45, people are yeah, we should start trading people. 2:57, it's shit, we don't have a lot of time. 2:58, everyone's fucking gone. 8 trades went through a minute before
Yeah,
the
my
deadline.
phone went nuts.
Yeah, a lot of them. And we're going to go ahead and break down all of them.
Nice.
So, starting off with the Kyle Souls Pittsburgh Penguins. They traded for Eric Gudbranson, from the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks got Tanner Pearson, both defenseman swap there. Penguins, bad trade. They lost that trade big time. They took on an extra $7.5 million in cap they didn't need to take on, and doesn't really push them over the edge in this playoff push they're trying to get. It just, in my opinion, was an unneeded trade. They could have done nothing at the deadline, kept the team the way it was. Production-wise, would have been the same. Less cap space, kept the chemistry going. It was unneeded. Made a move to make a move. Not necessarily. I'm just going to keep going, I guess. I don't really know if you guys are going to have any comments. So, Boston Bruins acquired Marcus Johansson, forward, from the New Jersey Devils in exchange for a 2019 second-round pick and a 2020 fourth-round pick.
Idiots.
Yeah, Devils won that pick.
Yeah.
Big time. Johansson is solid, but he's not a difference maker that the Bruins are looking for to make this big push, especially when you look at who they're going to have to go through in the East, whether it's the Maple Leafs or the Lightning. It's going to be shootout mentality. Johansson's not going to help them in a shootout type of situation. They really needed to go after a Mark Stone or a Matt Duchene. They didn't have what it took to get them. Or, not, I shouldn't say that. They had what it took. Other teams were willing to give up more. And so they didn't get either of these.
I think Matt Stone got traded.
Yes. They didn't. I think they were really after Wayne Simmons, but they just didn't. They couldn't give up what
the Ducks.
Other teams were able to give up. So the Devils won that trade. Moving on, one of the big names that was moved on free agency day, Wayne Simmons, traded to the Nashville Predators.
Wow.
Philly, in exchange, got Ryan Hartman, a 2020 fourth round conditional pick. The conditional picks in the NHL basically are, this is the pick you get. It moves up if X, Y, and Z happens. So Philly is guaranteed Ryan Hartman, and they're guaranteed a 2020 fourth round pick. It becomes a third round pick if Nashville wins one round of the playoffs this year. Pretty much going to happen. So, with that being said, Nashville wins this trade by a hair. Wayne Simmons, yeah. Wayne Simmons is an offensive prowess, and he's going to help their power play immensely. They are the worst power play in the National Hockey League right now, which is pretty flabbergasting when you consider how good of a team they really are. Also, Simmons really fits in with that physical nature of hockey that they like to play in Nashville. Hartman is a very good pickup for Philly, and they got a good pick because it's more than likely going to be a third-round pick. If they don't walk out of this with a third-round pick, it's more of a disappointment that Nashville didn't make it out of the first round than it is that they get a fourth-round pick. National Hockey League, much like the NFL, drafting is deep. Moving on. The other big free agent on today's agenda, Mark Stone, newest member of the Vegas Golden Knights.
What?
Ottawa, in exchange, got prospect defenseman Eric Brandstrom, prospect forward Oscar Lindbergh, and a 2020 second-round pick. The Knights also win this trade by a hair. A year ago, they were trying to get Erik Karlsson from the Ottawa Senators. That fell through. He went to the Sharks. We all know that. Fast forward to the trade deadline, they get Mark Stone, a top 20 player in the NHL, a absolute stud, really going to push Vegas into this playoff push. More importantly, Vegas wasted no time after this trade. I think it was about 30 seconds after they got the trade for Mark Stone, doing what Ottawa couldn't, and that was signing him to a long-term deal.
So you're telling me that he should be the first jersey that I buy for the Knights?
No.
Okay.
It should definitely be Subban.
What?
The other Subban.
Anyway, Stone, like I said, Stone, top 20 player, absolute stud of a pickup for the Knights. And they locked him up for a good chunk of time. So that means that the owner and general management team are showing that the Knights are not just going to use their inaugural season push as like a stomping ground. They're ready to fucking go. Ottawa, like I said, only lost us by a hair because they got an absolute stud pair of prospects as well as a great pick for next year. They already have an insane amount of picks for this year. I think it's like 20 picks. They pretty much control the draft board. They are in absolute rebuild mode. It's hard to imagine being an Ottawa fan. that you have anything to be excited for when you consider their top 3 point getters and leaders in the team in Stone, Duchesne, and fucking Blinken were all moved, and then Carlson in the offseason. Like, Ottawa's just like, the fuck. But they are absolutely poised for this rebuild. They are in. I mean, they have to draft right, obviously, but they're about to kill it. Another trade that like was being talked about all day if it was going to happen or not. Nashville got Michael Grunland from Minnesota in exchange for Kevin Fiala. I don't know what the fuck Minnesota was doing because they got fucking robbed hard. Kevin Fiala, not even close to the promise that Grunland has. Not even close. Predators won by a lot. Predators could have thrown in a 3rd-round pick, still would have won this trade. Not really sure what Minnesota's doing. That division, pretty fucking weird right now because you have teams that are still sitting at the bottom of the barrel, but they're making playoff pushes with wild cards. It's very interesting. Team that's doing it that was very quiet, shit, like Blackhawks. Not really anything. They made a minor move. That was about it. Another big name moved today. New York Rangers moved their other big star, Kevin Hayes, center.
That's the one that I thought you said Jonathan Toews, right?
Yeah. Stud.
Listen, if the Blackhawks traded Jonathan Toews, I don't think Paul would have came tonight.
I would be dead.
That's what he'd be
He
like,
went
"Guys,
on
I
a
can't
good
make it."
5-minute rant about.
If Jonathan Toews got traded, the first thing I would have done was like killed Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Judge. I would have killed everybody's here's favorite person, athletes. I would have just Derek Jeter, all of them, done.
That's not fair. That was 2 from me.
Doesn't okay? Troy Polamalu. Not gonna pick Ryan Shazier because that's a cheap move. Anyway,
Can't run away anyways.
So Winnipeg acquires Kevin Hayes. Rangers get a 2019 first-round pick, 2022 fourth-round pick, conditional if Winnipeg wins the Stanley Cup. So, not necessarily a long shot, but they don't get the pick if Winnipeg doesn't win the Stanley Cup. But they also got prospect Brendan Lemieux forward. Lemieux, sorry. The Rangers actually win this trade, believe it or not. Hayes is very versatile and has a very, very strong promise in the faceoff circle, which is what Winnipeg really needs right now. They're already doing fantastic this year, but they kind of need that promise. But the Rangers got a very good bottom 6 guy in Brendan Lemieux. And when don't for hockey, don't view bottom 6 as like a bad thing. Like, you need depth. You need your 3rd and 4th line to be able to go out and do things. Your 4th line may not play as much in all games, but you need your 3rd line guys to be able to go out and get the puck on goal, get offensive faceoff opportunities, things like that. And they got picks. Even if they don't get that conditional pick, they still got a first-round pick this year.
I have a question about that. Is that a commonplace to hey, if you win the Stanley Cup, then you'll get that? Like, I think that's like you said, it's not a long shot, but it is a long shot.
Well, because the Winnipeg Jets are absolute studs this year. The Winnipeg Jets are top notch in the division.
Souls is back.
Are you serious? Did you just blow a gasket?
The Winnipeg Jets are like top notch in the division this year, and they're poised to make a serious run, especially after the Hayes edition. Conditional picks is what hockey's all about.
I was just surprised, but like, hey, you win the championship, and I just surprised.
Well, because the thing is that like the Rangers knew that they, after dealing Zuccarello, which we'll get to, on deadline day they knew Hayes was a hot commodity and people needed him. Winnipeg especially needed him because they need that face-off prowess.
Right.
They need somebody that can get high percentage wins offensively and defensively. Hayes is very consistent on all face-off dots on the ice, which is not uncommon, but still not common. I mean, if you want to find people like that, you're looking at like Bergerons and Tays, like people that are just consistently good at face-offs. Hayes is one of those types of guys, and Winnipeg needs that. So they knew Winnipeg would be willing to overpay, but not by a lot. So in order to overpay, Winnipeg said, hey, we'll give you this pick if we win the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. And it's not really an effect on the Rangers or the Jets, because even if the Jets win it, they're losing a 4th-round pick 3 years from now. So it's not that huge of a deal. Winnipeg is going to be in great shape for a long time. But like I said, but the Rangers got a very promising bottom six guy that can move his way up the lines, and they got a first-round pick this year. The Rangers are in rebuild mode, which is very sad for hockey fans, only because you have to sit down and ask yourself, where does Henrik Lundqvist fit into this rebuild, being an older netminder? So it's sad to think about that he could be on his way out. But anyway, moving on, the New Jersey Devils got a 2022 fifth-round pick from the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for Keith Kincaid, a goalie. Goalie. The Jackets won this trade. It's a fifth-round pick years from now. The Devils were just looking to move him. They didn't need him. And it's not going to be the long-term replacement option for Bravosky, who's a pending free agent this year. But the Blue Jackets have, as we'll see later in these, the Blue Jackets are putting together a win right this fucking moment mentality. And they need solid goaltending backup goaltending for the playoffs. And Kincaid can do that for them. The San Jose Sharks, I don't understand. I just don't get what's going on with the Sharks. They literally have put together in real life a video game team. That's what they have. The San Jose Sharks are just a fun team. Between Burns and Carlson and Thornton and everybody else they added Gustav Nyquist, a forward. They traded a 2019 second round pick and a 2020 third round conditional pick to the Red Wings in exchange for Nyquist. The Sharks by far won this trade. This just adds so much more talent to their roster. They're like top 10. They broke down their roster, their lines, 1 through 4 offensively. They're like top 10 in every line for first, second, third, fourth across the league. The Sharks are just getting ready to poise to score a lot of goals.
Where are they in the standings?
I believe they're second.
So they struggled in the beginning, right?
A little bit, but they were also dealing with some shit. I don't think they're first though. No.
But they're very good.
Yeah, they're ready to make a poise.
Do you think they're better than like Nashville?
That's tough. Yeah, San Jose is second, 3 points behind Calgary.
Calgary sucks.
Okay.
They're gonna suck.
Okay. Yeah, right now the playoff picture is Tampa Bay, Boston, and Toronto in the Atlantic, Islanders, Capitals, and Blue Jackets in the Metropolitan, Jets, Predators, Blues in the Central, Flames, Sharks, Knights in the Pacific, and in the wild card race in the East, you have the Canadiens and the Hurricanes leading it, with Pittsburgh right outside knocking in, and then it falls off a little bit from Buffalo, Philly, Rangers, etc. And then in the West, you've got Dallas and Minnesota leading the charge in the wild card, with Colorado, Arizona, and Chicago all within 5.
Coyotes, baby.
Moving on, trade-wise, there's 2 more trades to get to. These were not trade deadline day trades, but still very big trades in terms of names. Like mentioned earlier, the Ottawa Senators moved Matt Duchene. The Columbus Blue Jackets acquired Matt Duchene, forward Dzingel, defenseman Bergman, and a 2019 seventh-round pick. Ottawa, in exchange, got prospect forward Vitali, prospect forward Anthony Duclair. Well, not prospect, but promising young talent forward Duclair. Prospect forward Davidson, a 2019 first-round pick, a 2020 first-round pick, and a 2020 and 21 second-round pick.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but the Blue Jackets won this trade by a lot. They got Duchene, an absolute stud number 1 center. This guy is top fucking notch. The Blue Jackets decided, we're not going to, you know what? We're not going to re-sign Panarin and Bravosky. The goal is to still do that. But right now, it's not looking like that's what's going to happen. Instead of trading Panarin, instead of trading Bravosky, let's bring in more talent and win now. And that's what they did. They brought in Duchene, absolute stud. They also got an amazing depth goal scorer in Dzingel.
How many years is Duchesne under contract for?
Duchene's a free agent after this year.
Okay.
And that is where the Blue Jackets' problems, fan base wise, are going to arise. The Blue Jackets have never won a playoff round, ever. They've always been a contending team, but they've never gotten out of the first round. If they cannot get out of the first round this year and manage to watch Bravsky, Duchesne, and Panarin walk, it's going to be very difficult for Columbus Blue Jacket front office.
Does hockey have the same kind of thing as the NFL with compensatory picks? If you watch a free agent walk, you get some kind of picks in
No,
return?
because the NHL is like real. Those
Compensatory.
those are bullshit. Oh, you didn't sign a guy, so you get a pick for him.
I thought it was compensatory.
But it's just like
Compensatory.
you didn't
Commissary.
You didn't want this guy, so he went somewhere else, and we're gonna give you a pick for him. What?
Can't wait for next year to happen.
It's like I could at least stomach it if it was like you get their pick. Nah, you just get an extra pick. Just gonna throw another pick in there. Bullshit. Anyway, and then the other before trade deadline trade was the Dallas Stars acquired Mats Zuccarello in exchange for a 2019 second round pick and 2020 third round pick, both conditional. The conditions are the 2019 second round pick becomes a first round pick if the Dallas Stars make the Western Conference Finals, and the 2020 third round pick becomes a 2020 second round pick if Mats Zuccarello re-signs this offseason with the Dallas Stars.
What are the chances they make the final?
They're more likely to re-sign than they are to make the finals.
Okay.
Just a lot of talent to go through. But the Stars initially really won this trade. Not anymore. Rangers won this trade big time.
After the injury.
Mats Zuccarello's first game last night against the Blackhawks. Came in, fit like a glove, right in with the Dallas Stars. First few shifts, scored a goal in his opening game. Upper body injury out 6 weeks.
Oh,
And
that's the worst.
Rough. That's rough. I mean, as of right now, the Rangers still won the game. The Stars, obviously, the Stars only gave up picks to acquire Zuccarello, so all the talent they had on the team that got them to where they are right now is still there and will continue to keep pushing them forward. And when Zuccarello returns, will only strengthen that. So I don't see them being in any big hurt in terms of missing the playoffs, but I just don't see him being a Western Conference Final contender. And
are we more than halfway through the season?
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
But anyway, the Zuccarello, the condition of Zuccarello re-signing is going to be interesting because they have two. Their names are escaping me, but they have two promising young talents that are up for contract renewals that also kind of have proven that they're worth contracts for the Stars. So it's going to be kind of interesting because if they're going to sign Zuccarello, who is a star, they're probably not going to be able to keep these two young guys. But you also look at it as these two young guys, who knows what they're going to get moving forward, as opposed Sagan, Ben, and Zuccarello. That's a pretty mean three-punch. Trade deadline was fucking awesome. There's a bunch of other trades I didn't talk about because I don't have all the time in the world, but I needed to touch on those. Those were important trades.
I agree.
Yes, Holt?
A little off topic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
not to interrupt, but the big thing with the trade deadline was fucking big teams made big moves. This wasn't a bunch of fringe teams making moves to push themselves into the playoffs. This was heavyweight fighters. This was Mike Tyson's and Muhammad Ali's adding more pieces to just completely destroy everybody in their way. It's going to be real fun, especially the Western Conference.
Who do you think?
It's going to be real fucking fun.
Who do you think made the most out of the trade deadline?
Columbus, by far. Columbus was like, we're doing this now. This is going to happen whether everybody wants it to or not, and we're going to just destroy the world. And they're sitting at the 3 spot right now, and they're 4 points behind Washington with a little over 21 games left to play. Yeah, I could very easily see them climbing their way into the 2 spot. I don't know if the Islanders are only 2 points ahead of Washington, but 2 points is a lot. I mean, it's a win, but you got to figure even a win and a loss means they're tied, and I don't know where the tiebreakers stand, but it all means nothing for the Blue Jackets, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Does the trade deadline have any effect on your outlook for the Stanley Cup game who do you think is going to make it there?
Yes. But Souls had a question.
Yes. So, off topic. Say if my team played your team, right?
Okay.
My team beat
So
your
the Phillies
team.
play the Bulls. Yep.
My team beat your team.
In kickball.
Do you have to take a shot?
What?
I see what he's getting at
Yeah,
here.
I mean, that's how we. Well, I mean, so
I'm
I'm a fan of doing this for like all games. It gets a lot more tricky when we start doing like baseball, especially for you and Kendall.
Yeah.
I see what Souls is getting at here.
All right,
Mock has to take a shot.
Why would happen?
Sixers beat the Pelicans.
All right. Well, that's fair. I think we should do it for all head-to-head matchups. All of them. If they happen in the week. And that's what I'm saying. That's would be great. Especially the Phillies and the Mets play. Like, imagine the Phillies and the Mets play in a 4-game series and you sweep them.
Kyle, that's not going to happen.
Just throw it.
No.
Just toss it to them.
do it.
If Rebecca's shit wasn't there, that would have been a clean catch.
Then also, another question.
Mm-hmm.
We should all take a shot of silence. James Harden lost his 30-point streak
He did. He only scored 28 tonight.
against the Hawks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, shot of silence?
What did it finish at? 35?
Yeah. So, I want to take a shot. Mock, you double down.
We'll finish off with Mock. He'll give him a chance to recover.
Oh, that is just awful.
Recovery shit.
He doesn't have to drive home, so.
That's true.
That is
No
not
excuse.
great.
Messed
I
that
have
boy
to drive
up.
a short distance.
No, that doesn't count. You can walk there.
No, it's too cold for
Yeah,
that.
it's windy.
Oh.
Horse and buggy.
That'd be nice. I was like, that's ill-advised.
Just who wouldn't have caught it. That
Max,
guy.
did you have any more questions? Anybody have any questions about the NHL? The trade deadline stuff?
I mean, obviously this is the first time I'm grateful that Paul covered it because I mean, so much stuff happened,
Yeah.
and we are just
So much of bullshit if we didn't cover it.
And I'm just saying we are.
I would have
so
boycotted this station.
ill-prepared.
Not the station. That's not fair.
The show,
mixtape.
though.
Just mixtape Saturday. I would have boycotted it.
All right, so you
Sorry,
said that
Manny.
yes, it does affect your view of who's in the finals.
Yeah, I think Nashville's in the finals now.
Okay. Who's on the other side?
Oh, Tampa Bay was never not in the finals. this is Tampa Bay's Stanley Cup to win,
Okay.
and they're gonna lose it. That's the thing.
They got Stamkos.
They're gonna Stamkos. They're gonna lose it.
We beat him last night.
Stimcoast.
Nope.
We beat him
No.
6-4
Stamkos.
last
There's an
night.
A in there. They're gonna lose. I just know it.
The Flyers won last night 6-4.
Pretty bummed though, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like hockey, like if you guys could like do research on it, it's just like hockey is so much more of a family sport than any of the other 4 major sports. I mean, they played the Stadium Series.
I don't know what that means.
Play outside.
Okay.
So they played the Phillies, the Flyers, and the Penguins played at Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Eagles. They play outside.
Yeah.
And they were gonna give Claude Giroux was gonna get like the game puck or whatever they do. Everyone has different things. And then Claude Giroux decided that he was gonna give it to Voracek because Voracek set up the game-winning goal or whatever happened or whatever. And Voracek just is like, we got a lot of shit going on right now, and we're not sure what's going to happen. This belongs to Wayne Simmons.
That's kind of cool.
And you see, like, Lundqvist getting choked up about Zuccarello being gone. He got choked up again today after Hayes was gone. Like, it's just family, man.
Yeah.
It's family. Hockey's family.
I get
And on top of it, too, NHL on Sirius, NHL Network, the best sports. People were getting traded. They had him, like, Hayes got traded. Not even 90 seconds after he was traded, they had him on air to talk about the trade.
that's impressive.
Like the NFL trade, they have like Pete Carroll on every week because they just know that it'll come on. But like if someone got traded, like when the KJ Wright shit was happening or whatever, traded, injuries, PEDs, whatever you want to call it, no big deals or whatever. But they're like, oh, you just got traded? Get on. We're gonna talk about it.
I gotta say, the thing that made me most interested in hockey was
Watching the Blues get spanked by the Blackhawks.
no, the video last year when they finally handed Ovi the Stanley Cup.
Dude, Summer of Ovi was great. Summer of Ovi
It was
dancing with the Stanley Cup in a fountain.
Yeah.
I subscribed to his Instagram just to follow that. It was so much fun.
You don't have to pay for it.
Oh, I mean,
You follow him. You just follow him.
I wouldn't have if it wasn't.
But you
I
said
had an
subscribe.
exclusive
You
membership.
said you subscribe.
$18.99 a month.
So if you're
I-
paying $9.99 a month to follow him, I need to get an Instagram account like that. Because if one person follows me, it's better than I'm doing now.
I wouldn't follow any of you.
I thought Rebecca looks like death. It's like 10:50. She looks like she's gonna die. Beer reviews. Souls.
All right. So,
How's your journal looking?
yeah.
All right.
So, Soul Made from Evilton Brewing. It started off dicey. As I drank it, got a lot better. It became my 5th favorite beer.
Behind Too Juicy.
Too juicy
Super-
too.
no, in no order. Too Juicy, Super Duper Double Citra, Milwaukee's Best, and Bush.
Now,
it became my 6th favorite beer.
Little Juicy is up there.
Little Juicy was so good.
But it was good after the first couple
Better than
sips.
Seahead.
Like,
No,
I ain't gonna go
God.
too far. Like, it gave me a quality start. But, the big boy came in.
12 inning save
Throwing 99-mile-per-hour gas.
for 6 straight innings.
Striking out the side.
For 6 straight
Doing
innings.
its thing.
His thing.
Super duper double Citra.
First favorite beer?
By far.
Good, they just discontinued it.
Did
Did
it
they
really?
really?
Yep.
Kyle's going out to buy 18 cases of it
Did it
tomorrow.
really?
Till next year.
Oh.
Well, guess what? I hate beer now.
Nah, they didn't discontinue it. I hate beer now. You only do that till softball comes around and drink all the Yingling Lights.
Hey, after a while, they taste like IPAs.
And after a while, they taste all the same.
But I like Seahag. It tastes like Yingling Light.
No. I
Yeah,
Guinness.
I went through a Machcine washable.
started off with the Focal Banger from Alchemist. I mean, really, I think it's an incredible beer. Real nice juicy IPA. I gave it 5 stars. I like it a lot.
5?
Yeah.
That means it has to be the best beer you ever had.
I
5.
also was given from Soulsy a super duper double Citra.
Better be safe.
Now, I gave it 4 stars. It is a very solid beer. There's ones that I like more than it, but it is a very good IPA. I enjoyed it.
Better than that piece of shit that you had.
It's
first.
not. It's not. Kyle.
5 stars?
Yeah, listen.
It's got to be the best beer you've ever had. The best beer. Is it the best beer you've ever had?
It's tied with it.
What's the best beer you've
No,
ever
if
had?
last
you say
year-
something from Czech, I'm going to punch you.
You can't. That's not fair.
Yes, I can.
You can't.
The
Busch
Czech
Light.
beers are good, but they're not 5 stars good.
I
Busch Light
like
is
it.
Have you ever
always
had
the
a
best.
Czech beer?
Yes, he's brought them on.
We had 'em on the show.
Tasting.
3.5 to 4.
I think some of them are good.
Okay, what was your top overall?
Miller Genuine Draft.
Well, no,
Heineken.
last week
Heineken out of the mini keg
Paul-
in a
Paul's-
cooler you sat on.
Paul's making a joke off of last week's show because I gave the Heady Topper 5 also.
And then
And was
fucking
ridiculed.
Phil- well, then fucking Phil was, I can't give a beer 5 stars. Then what's the point of rating it? Anyway, moving on. Starlet from City Steam.
Starlet was
from New England City Steam Brewing.
Starlet was pretty good. I don't drink a lot of APAs, but this one
APAs.
EPAs.
Farouk and Bradshaw.
I don't drink a lot of IPAs. This one was very good. Very mellow taste. I'd give it 3 stars. I'd drink it again, but
Who'd you like better, Farouk or Bradshaw?
Oh,
In the
Bradshaw.
APA?
Yeah.
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw.
Farouk.
Nah, Bradshaw.
Damn.
Bradshaw transcends all.
he was underappreciated throughout his whole career.
Oh, no.
Cowboy Dominatrix? How can you beat it?
He's also a very racist bastard.
Who cares?
The best skit they ever did was him hunting Eddie Guerrero on the
Oh.
Mexican border.
So good.
That was when wrestling was at its peak. All right, and then the Relic.
then the Relic. I ended up picking this
Relic
beer.
what?
Relic Winterbane. I ended up picking this beer because it looks like something that belongs on a Disturbed album cover. This got
You know
5
what?
stars.
Wasn't too terrible.
5 stars?
This got 5 stars. I can say that because I haven't drank a lot of beer aside from shitty stuff. All right.
Remember that time that we went to 9 Packer stores looking for Leinenkugel summer wheat? Right online. This is the same guy getting 5 stars to a beer right now.
That ranking may change as I continue my delve into the world of beers, but
Oh my
as of
God.
right now,
I forgot
This
about
got 5 stars. This was by far the most fantastic beer that I've had.
I gave Goose Island Bourbon County 4.5 stars. That should say everything you need to know. I have a 5-star beer, but I haven't had it on the show
Can I just
What-
say
what-
this?
because I can't get it.
If they ever discontinued this beer, I drink only Nip for the rest of my life.
That's an odd thing to say. And do.
Red Baron?
I start off with a double fuzzy from Nebco.
Oh, yeah. Dogfish Worldwide Stout. You opened it and drank it, and you didn't like it. And you passed
Oh
it
yeah. I was not a huge fan of that. Winterbane came in, hit 3 grand slams.
Slams?
You know, 3 grand slams. Winterbane came in and gave up like 18 runs and pretty much lost the game for.
The Winterbane gave up 18 runs. The thing you gave 5 stars gave up
No,
18
no.
runs.
The whatever.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. All right.
Double fuzzy from Nebco started the game.
I swear to God, if you say 5 stars, when I kill you.
No, listen. I'm a practical person. You know me. I did give it 4 stars. First time I ever had it out of the can. I enjoyed it. I would absolutely get it again. Very tasty, not too heavy. What?
No, I'm laughing at something else. I'm laughing at this is funny.
Then I
Nice
moved
shirt,
on,
Mock.
and
Thank
I played cleanup for the mass there. I also had the oak aged worldwide stout of vanilla. I missed that part from Dogfish. It was okay. It was tasty, kind of boozy. I felt
0 stars.
I gave it 2 stars. You know, the thing is, I put would enjoy for breakfast, which is true.
You can no longer call yourself a stout drinker.
So let me put it this way: I wouldn't have a bunch of them. I would probably have this one, and that's it.
You, the person who I had to convince to not buy a handle of grain alcohol, said that was too boozy.
Well, I guess as far as, you know, I don't know. Maybe perhaps I don't like the vanilla aspect that much.
You like the vanilla coffee porter from Timber Island?
I saw it.
It's
Way more vanilla-y.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't
what's
even
the
know if I
third
like
beer
it.
you had?
And I lost the game with the Genesee Cream Ale. Yeah, we were holding the game, and we blew it at the end. Genesee is awful in all aspects.
Why did you
Not
drink
Genesee
it?
Ice.
It's all bad. I got the Genesee because we had it. This was Mark brought this like 3 weeks ago, and he still hasn't drank it.
Forgot about it.
So I
Is
just
this
took
the
it.
one that you really didn't like?
The Genesee, it's just, it's in my opinion, it's not good. If I lived in New York, if I lived in upstate New York, like if I lived in Utica, for example, which isn't upstate.
What about Hancock?
He only said Utica because it's on The Office.
No, I
What about
What about
Hancock?
I'm
Poughkeepsie?
very, very familiar with Utica. Poughkeepsie as well.
What
I would
about
drink
Hancock?
Genesee. If I
Gay
if I
town,
lived in
everybody
Hancock,
promised
I would
gay.
drink Pennsylvania beer. That's how much I dislike Genesee, and that's a wrap.
All right.
Riddler.
I had 3 beers. The first beer I had was Stunner for the Win, a New England IPA from Beard Brewing.
Give it 3.5.
I gave it.
5.
I did. I gave it 3.5. I actually liked it. I mean,
I didn't mind it either.
it's an IPA's drinker's IPA. It was very hazy, very bitter, a lot of hops. If you're an IPA drinker, that's like an IPA beer. I mean, that's, I like the staple IPA kind of things. Like, I don't like all this, like, fruity grapefruit shit.
What are you talking about?
Like, Little Juicy. Nah, I'm just kidding. I like Little Juicy.
Fuck
That beer can go
Little Juicy.
fuck itself. I would give that beer a -0.5 star. No, I'm just
Oh.
kidding. I'm just kidding, Kyle.
We were about to throw down.
No, we won't.
I'd watch.
You don't have a ride home if we throw down.
Uber.
Golden color, citrusy and skunky in the aroma, hazy, bitter, and citrus in the taste. I like it. True IPA flavors, 3.5 stars. Sure, I'd get it again. Second, flip through my pictures, my labels. A lot of extra pages here. Second, I had the Dogs versus Shinobi from Beard, also a collaboration with Pipeworks.
Give it a 2.5.
6.5% alcohol, straw color with golden colors as well, citrus and yeasty. Flavor was citrus and floral, very serviceable. I could enjoy as a one-time beer or crush a 4-pack. I give it 4 stars. I'd absolutely get it again. There was nothing about it that was like super like, wow, like this is the greatest beer ever type of thing. But like I said, I'm just like I could have one and be satisfied. I could bring a 4-pack to a softball game and drink all of them. 6.5% didn't really do it justice because it felt way lower, which I always like in a beer when it's a high percent and feels lower. And I finished off with pub beer from 10 Barrel Brewing in Bend, Oregon. 5%er, $2.99 for the 25 ounce. Straw colored, smelled like bread, tastes like skunk. Notes, Stars, 1. Probably wouldn't get it again. Kendall, you're gonna love this beer. I saved it for the rest of it for you.
Oh,
It
well, thank
pretty
you.
much tastes like Coors Rattler.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's very exciting.
No, it's not.
Well, for me it is, because I'm a rat. Ugh, that's stupid. Sorry, guys.
You should chug the private stock. You should shotgun.
You're right. You're right. Let's do that.
Where can they find us, Machcine?
Be sure to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk. Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's drinking the discontinued Super Duper Double Citra or just like shitting all over one of the best stouts Dogfish ever produced.
Be sure to follow us and subscribe on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
Where you find podcasts and internet radio shows, you find us.
We are on the PPRN Radio Network every Monday night from 8 to 11.
Ish.
Yeah, ish. Be sure to check out the Peter Pino Show every Tuesday and Wednesday from 7:30 to 10:30.
Ish.
Tuesday nights has me and Kendall on there.
Yeah.
Mixtape Saturdays. A lot of good stuff on PPRN.
Kendall
Download
and
it.
I.
Fuck you, Kyle. Download the app.
It's proper grammar.
Check it out.
You got schooled in grammar by Kyle.
How does that make you feel?
Like drinking more private stock.
I have better grades than two people here.
Who are the two people?
Rebecca and me.
Nope, Kendall and me.
Better grades than yourself?
Kendall and I,
That's
you dick.
Yeah, but it's not the same effect when you correct souls.
I know.
I live my life, son.
I don't even know what you were referencing. What better grades than what?
We both just sucked at school.
Oh, I understand. Actually, Kyle, you and I are more the same than you think.
More the same. All right, well, on this edition of Getting Fucked with Grammar, make sure to tune in to...
Quick, around the horn.
All right.
Nothing like cutting off Paul there.
Make sure to tune in, like as Mock said, make sure to tune in to all the PPRN Radio Network programs. We will be back next week. We have all kinds of fun stuff planned. But until then,
Do we?
I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mock.
Sheen Washable.
So is that.
I saw moisture out of his mouth.
Oh, the Maskers Massey.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Drink that.
Yeah.